Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic University podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Canton III. We are continuing our Road to Doomsday series as we are now in the episode titled, Who Should Lead the MCU's Avengers and Why Not Sam Wilson? I'm looking forward to this conversation. And what you should also be looking forward to is patreon.com/MCUniversityPod. You get our bonus content, such as the holiday subscriber mailbag that will be coming. By this time, the time you watch this and listen to this, it will already be out. And everything that you get backlog of, we're doing the whole Batman, Schumacher, and Tim Burton thing. You got that whole situation going on. Our wonderful Discord and all those things that you could get for $3. And then on top of that, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. We do have a special panel for this one, and it's been a while. I love when she comes on. She's an MC University alum. Stephanie Williams, the great comic book writer out here in these streets. Steph, how you doing? Welcome back to the program.
Hey, happy to be here. I cannot believe it's been so long. Like
I
over a year?
well, I think the funny thing is, like, you did come on. Fortunately, we were supposed to do this episode some months back, but then Sinners came out, and I was like, I gotta
Oh my
talk to Steph
God.
about Sinners.
Yes, we did do Sinners. What is this year? Because I also forget that Brave New World also came out this year.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, it's been 6 months, but it might as well be a year. Happy
Yeah,
to be
yeah, it might as well. And 2025 has certainly been a time, that's for sure. And also, leave the key under the mat for him, and every time he comes back, Rod Morrow, aka the black guy who tips. Rod, how you doing, sir?
What up, man? Thank you for having me. Ready to talk about some Avengers.
Yes, and the thing that I wanted to discuss as far as the Avengers is concerned is everybody makes the claim of Sam Wilson and is he the leader? Why should he not be the leader? Why should he actually be the leader? And something occurred by the time this airs. Something occurred. Like, if you've gone to the movie theater and you went to go see Avatar, there is a teaser out there and that's been spoiled to God knows where on the internet. Marvel got some real leaks right now. The leaks are going crazy. But in this particular leak, we see the return of Chris Evans and Steve Rogers. He has a kid. What is going on?
Okay, now me being spoiled. Well, live in full effect, but that is fine. Excuse me?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Steve Rogers has a baby boy. It's a minute teaser where you see him back in the timeline that he went to at the end of Endgame, apparently, and he has a kid with Peggy Carter. And as I said the other day when I found out this information, this is what happens when you are that horny at work. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
he was pulling a Sharon at Michigan. They
No.
messed up
Damn.
the multiverse because he was too horny at work. I mean, goodness gracious. So
it does it does fit it does fit his character.
It
it
does.
Like
absolutely does.
he's a throw it all away for love guy. You know what I mean? Like that's who he is. So it does make sense. And in the teaser, it doesn't show him in like our current timeline. It's a quick snippet of him back in the day. For those of us that watched the Agent Carter,
Yes.
I wonder where in the timeline does it take place, because there's a period like her story ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, so is he raising the baby by himself? Did she come? Like, is there a time they got back together we don't know about? I have more questions than answers from this teaser.
Yes, yes, and with that being said, I do actually want to ask you both, because Steph, I know you're not on Twitter anymore, and God bless you for not being there. Salute to you for making that decision. The discussion at first when this came out, there's like, wait a minute, you're throwing Sam Wilson to the wolves. You're not letting his character breathe, and you're not letting his character be at the forefront of this whole situation. They're bringing Steve Rogers back, and first of all, to those people, I say I don't know if Steve Rogers coming back for a really long time. I feel like this is going to be it might be a one and donesy type of situation. Doctor Doom might get him out the paint. That's what I feel like might happen with that situation as far as that's concerned. But Steph, what would you do to with the assertion that Sam Wilson's character deserves more when I present to you the context of how the MCU has actually treated Sam Wilson?
Yes, in theory, where no, not even on paper, just in theory, he deserves more because what we've gotten on paper and in film and TV has not necessarily been that. And that is no knock on Anthony Mackie or Sam Wilson, the actual character, but the bag has been fumbled quite a few times with him, even in his own show
Yeah.
and his own movie. Why am I looking at why am I more excited to no, I wasn't even more excited, but we got Red Hulk showing up,
Yeah.
that whole thing, fight amongst the CGI cherry blossoms. That was I'll never forget that.
That was a time.
Uh, that was a time. And then still this back and forth with him on whether or not he wants to like he feels he's either deserving of the shield or can even wield it. It's just like, Negro, you've been doing it. What do you mean? You have to be overqualified and you are overly qualified. You absolutely should be leading the Avengers, but it looks like that's probably not going to be the case because they haven't made a case for it that's justifiable.
I would tend to agree with that. Rod, what say you, sir?
Um, so I guess we're saying like where is Sam at right now, and should he be the leader? Is that what we're talking about right at this
Yeah,
moment?
yeah, because I feel like if anything, the presentation and
Mm,
we've years. Steph was on a lot of our Falcon and the Winter Soldier stuff, and
yeah.
we talked about it. And we even did a dedicated episode to black characters in film and TV, and
Hmm.
how Sam Wilson is written and how he's portrayed is
Yeah.
just it's weak. It
Mm,
just doesn't rock. The Pepsi speech, all of it, like
yeah.
it doesn't work.
I I think so. For Sam, my issues are like I don't mind Sam as a character. I actually think Sam as a character makes a lot more sense than people want to admit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the kind of Negro that would wear the stars and stripes is not going to be the militant dude that everybody
No.
thinks they want. It just I don't I think one of the issues with a lot of our criticism in like social media spaces is that we want the story to mirror our politics and have almost no conflict. Like just the character was he was conceived perfect. His thought through line was perfect. His growth was perfect. And what Sam represents to me is like the dichotomy of being black in America. Like everything I'm working towards is based on a faith in this country that it has not shown me. And, and so everything always feels like he's a little underwater. The problem for me with Marvel is, unlike the comic book, what Sam Wilson is Captain America, they seem almost afraid to tackle the race part.
Yes.
And I just don't know how that's supposed to work on the big screen because that's huge. That there's no reason for Sam to be Captain America if we're not going to constantly be discussing what does race mean to a black man in America and what does it mean to Americans watching a black man carry the shield like that. That was uh, my favorite panels in those books were the ones where it would just be like man on the street interviews and stuff. It was just
Mhm.
and it's just slice of life. It's like a black dude on TikTok, like, man, he ain't my Captain America, man. First of all, no brother will wear that. And then another one being like, I'm so proud of that black man. And then the white people are, he definitely ain't mine. Like, that was beautiful. And they just took all that out of the story. And I think because of that, it makes him as a character not feel like he would be able to lead.
Yeah.
Because him in the comic overcoming that, you go, nah, that dude, he's earned the right, he deserves, even if he privately has his own conflicts, when he's out there fighting, he's fighting for the right and justice. And in this, you never get that. So I guess I hate to say it, but I don't feel like I would care if he was the leader or not the leader.
Hmm.
I don't. I like Mackie, by the way. Like I watched Twisted Metal 2 seasons. I'll keep bringing this up. I don't give a damn. I apparently love Anthony Mackie, and I did not know I love Anthony Mackie until I could not quit that show. I was like, but and I think I brought this up last time I was here.
Yeah.
As a character, they don't let him be funny,
No.
and he's actually pretty damn funny as an actor.
Yeah.
Like he can do humor, even if it's the awkward stuff. He's good at that. And this is such a quippy like MCU, right? Like everyone's got jokes, everyone's doing, and he just barely really gets in. Plays a straight man a lot to people. So I think all that to say, I'm not looking forward to him being the leader of the Avengers. at the place that they left him at. So that's why I can't, I can't get too charged up.
I feel you on that. As someone who has written for Sam Wilson before, Steph, as I hold up this comic that you
Oh, look
signed for me a
at you.
couple years
Okay.
ago.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yes. Captain America. What is it? This is 750. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
750. So I wanted to get inside your mind a little bit, and as far as you writing for Sam Wilson and juxtaposed to what we see on screen, what did you think about in terms of like, what do I put together for this character that makes sense in the present day world and in the comic book world to send at least a not just passable message but a meaningful one to your readers?
Well, I mean, to Rod's point, you cannot address race with his character at like you just can't not do that. So for the story that I wrote, I wanted to retroactively go back and get into his headspace when he originally joined the Avengers because of affirmative action because what is his name? Gyrick was just being a jerk,
Yeah, yeah.
and for lack of a better word, and T'Challa was like, "Well, I gotta leave," and they're like, "Well, we need one Negro, so who's it gonna be?" And Steve, recommended Sam for all the right reasons, not just simply because he was just a black guy, but because he had seen Sam in action and knew of him and knew that he was again overly qualified to be part of the Avengers. Of course, Hawkeye was upset about that, but I wanted to get into what Sam thought about that because this is a man who obviously is very has pride in what he does. He is about his job and wanting to be a part of the community and doing the right thing and all of this. But how does that make you feel when your first invitation to the Avengers is literally because they were like, "Well, we have a quota to fill." That would make any of us feel some type of way. I mean, we all deal with that and wondering, unfortunately, hey, did I get this job based on merit or was it because a quota needs to be filled or was it quota and merit? It's not a fun game to play. And that was something that I wanted to explore and like how Sam felt about that because even throughout this takes place through several Avengers comics. I think maybe 6 or 7 issues total. We do get some of how he feels, but not really. It's really more so how other characters are feeling and channeling his thoughts through them. So that was important. And again, something that the MCU unfortunately kind of touches on, but not in a way that's meaningful and impactful that makes you say, yes, I absolutely can buy and see Sam as leader of the Avengers because of all of these things. Like he just feels so secondary and I hate it because it's just so
Mhm.
unfair to a character that has been running around with Steve for a long time.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of
Mhm.
issues where Sam is with Steve like both of like he got turned into a werewolf. I feel like if you get turned into a werewolf and you
Yes.
are also Captain America, you definitely should be no one should be second guessing whether or not you can
That was one of my favorite
yes.
things that they did was because you start that book off, and I mean, I feel like everyone who picked up the book is like, so this is gonna be about him being black and being Captain America. So like, where's the story going? And they
Mhm.
immediately turn into a werewolf, and you like, okay, this is another problem that should be solved immediately, like before we can even get back to where we started
Before
from
we
this joint.
before we
I
can hop
love that
into
that
it.
twist.
So
Yeah.
it mm, again, Sam, so sorry brother, but no.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
I like that those black showrunners at least wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like the difference between Falcon and the Winter Soldier in that movie is so stark to me because
Yeah.
it's like it like suddenly race becomes such subtext that it's barely in the movie. It's just here's Isaiah. And you're
Yeah.
like, what's he so mad about?
My God.
We know he's mad about being a black man in America that's been persecuted. But the movie is like that. I mean, he's just mad because he was persecuted. We're like, but he was black. Is you can't tell his story without the black part. And I know it's a Herculean lift in this time to be committed to something like that. Like it would have taken someone at Marvel being such a huge like, no, we're not running from this. And I feel like Disney been running scared for like 2-3 years off of just the backlash of America and voting and fighting Ron DeSantis. Like I feel like they've just been like, listen, man, we tired. We not gonna completely throw these people out of the story, but we willing to not talk about it if y'all willing to look the other way. And that feels like a cowardly way out. And I think it kneecaps someone like Sam Wilson
Mm-hmm.
because it's such a huge part of the story. Even with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was okay with Sam not arriving at the conclusion that I think most Black people would arrive at, because I was just like, oh, they presented all the viewpoints. Like you're getting Isaiah's viewpoint. You're before they erased Don Cheadle with that Secret Wars bullshit. That before they did that bullshit, I was like, Don got his own.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle brought a different version of blackness.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Young Patriot; he had a different version of blackness. And then you had like random Negroes that was just like, man, you ain't no Captain America. Like I was like, okay, at least it's presented. Like you don't need to make Sam have my opinion for me to be like, that's a fully fleshed out character who arrived at a different conclusion.
Right.
It's like they did that movie and that shit never happened. Like they were just like, yeah, he Captain America. The real problem is people like Steve Rogers. No, they like whiteness.
Yeah.
It's the real problem. And we're not fucking talking about it. So I just think they really did him a disservice. And you can't, like, Black people, if they felt attached to this character, I feel like you could ride it into something. Like we wouldn't take them pushing him back. We'd be like, no, fuck that. But the fact that we don't feel that way for this character is saying something, because I don't see people really going hard about like, man, he might not be the leader of the Avengers. It's kind of like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Yelena should do it. She absolutely should do it. That's basically what's been my perspective on it for sure. Steph, before we started recording, you were telling me when you went to see Brave New World with your son said, "Can I go to sleep?"
He looked at me. We were 20 or 30 minutes into the movie. He looked over at me. He was like, he finished his popcorn and his icy. He was like, so do I have to watch the rest of this? And I said, no, baby, just go ahead and go to sleep. And that's when I knew, my husband and I looked at each other and was just like, damn, because that is unfortunate. Because I can only imagine being his age, right? And this is not the first movie that he's seen where there's a Black superhero at the forefront. Like he has that option available to him, but even still, it's just like, because he has gotten better stories and, just characters presented to him in a way that makes him want to care about them. The fact that like my 9-year-old is just kind of like, whatever, too freaking Sam Wilson, Captain America, is like, damn, the ball has been dropped, and that's really unfortunate. It really truly is.
I remember when I went to see the movie in the theater for the first time. It was that first 15 minutes. I mean, we talked about it on the show when we were grading the MCU projects, but that first 15 minutes, I mean, God, like I felt like felt like it was torture. Like it was not. I had said it, but Steph, the exposition dump was just so. It's like Chat GPT wrote it.
Well,
I was like, wait a minute, no, guys, you can't be serious. Like, this is what they did to this movie, and and this is the other part of it that just boggles my mind and makes me so irritated. So first, you're gonna have the Israeli character in this thing. You got that part. You got this exposition dump. And then we still have the whole he's gonna talk down the Hulk at the end situation with the CGI cherry blossoms. And it's like,
which here's the thing.
And the leader.
And the leader with the testicle head.
Yeah. A lot going on.
And the thing is, like, maybe that possibly could have worked, right? If they actually would have done more with the Isaiah Bradley of it all. Like, if that would have been more the direction, and then whatever that outcome was, whatever Sam really takes away from that is what leads him to wanting to decide to talk the Hulk down. Well, I guess he had no choice because he was going to kill him anyway. But
Yeah.
it makes it a little bit more believable. Because while watching that movie, there were just different parts. I'm like, I really wish they would have focused on the Isaiah Bradley of it all, because I feel like that really would have said that I don't give a damn about um what is it, the celestial that is
Oh
halfway,
yeah,
like y'all,
the
the
adamantium
also
situation.
all for the
Adamantium.
adamantium, y'all
Yeah.
could have put that in the end in like a little brief doc for all I care. Like we really didn't
Yeah.
necessarily need
Absolutely.
to like revisit that, but sure. I just really wish that they would have gave us more of Isaiah Bradley,
It,
and
it,
also
it felt
his
like
wait, hold on, what's the little boy who looked like Michael Jordan because he bald? Patriot.
uh
Oh,
Why
the
am
Patriot.
oh
Yeah,
my
the
Patriot.
god, why am I
Patriot.
blanking on his
Yeah.
name?
Oh, what's his real name? You mean?
Yes, his real
Oh, let
name.
me look that up. Oh,
Um, but if he would have also, because they did kind of introduce that character in the TV show,
Eli.
Eli,
Eli.
yeah.
Oh my, I'm so sorry. Please don't eat me up, y'all. It's it's been a long year. But
No, no, no.
if
It's all good.
if they would have also brought Eli into that, and again just explored that way more than what they did in the TV show, then I would have been more forgiving of the whole Red Hulk, of it all.
I mean, the funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
go ahead,
I
Rod, and I'll
think
make my point.
also like the promise of Falcon and the Winter Soldiers is that at least I left there like this is a continuing conversation.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yep.
Like I didn't leave there and they solved racism. Well, guess we can move on. Like I was like, oh no, this is going to continue to be a problem for Sam for the whole time he's Captain America, and we're going to come to a point where he's going to have to sit down with Isaiah and Eli and be like, "Fuck, y'all were right." Like hey, now that I've been doing the job past the 90-day period and I'm permanent. I will. We should revisit them conversations we had during the interviews process because y'all was spitting and I wasn't really hearing y'all at first.
Yes.
And I think there's a version of this movie that may have even been closer to
hmm
that. But that movie drowned under the weight of like several different type of agendas happening at the same time. And then it became like a movie that served a bunch of things that weren't the movie anymore. It's
Mhm.
like, all right, we got to do something with this introduction. We got to do something to bring the leader back because that's a thread we dropped for the Hulk and we never picked up. It's like I wasn't looking for it. You weren't looking for it, but they threw that in there. Adamantium. Oh, the X-Men are coming. So they threw that in there. It just feels like a list of a checklist. And what I imagine is that whoever wrote this and rewrote this and rewrote this and rewrote this and whoever edited this, Herculean task, man. Like, hats off to y'all for making a movie because this clearly when it got put into your desk, you were like, what the fuck? What? This all can't happen in the same movie. And they're like, no, it can. We believe in you. We'll be back. Like, figure it out. Oh, by the way, Giancarlo Esposito's in it now. All right, man. Good luck editing this together. We can't wait to see what you come up with. And that's how the movie felt to me in the final stage, is just a bunch of separate ideas they needed to have happen so they can go to the next phase, as opposed to like a
Yeah,
genuine this was a Sam Wilson movie about the arc of Sam Wilson and who this guy is as a man. They did not make
yeah.
that
It took
movie.
away his agency. And I mean, this has been kind of wide knowledge, but the 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 smorgasbord of changes made to that movie in terms of the Serpent Society being a big part of it earlier, and then them taking that out. Um, the thing that really got me after the fact, a couple weeks after the movie came out, or maybe like a month or so, they released some deleted scenes. And then there's a deleted scenes with Isaiah talking about his strife and having a talk with Ross about his issues. And I'm like, how is this not in the movie? I don't understand. It's not in the
Animancia.
movie.
It was really important to let us know. This
Yeah.
is where the
We needed the leader.
and not to bring up Monica, but there's just so much
Yeah.
intertwined with her and Sam in the way that the MCU has taken two characters who in the comics are some of the best black characters that we have,
Mhm.
given the material and who's writing and the stories that they get, where they drop the ball with her as well. And it's just like, oh well, now you're in another universe so that we can what introduce the X-Men, which is
Right.
hilarious that the black characters are being kind of sidelined or watered down a
Mm-hmm.
little bit,
Yeah.
or stories and whatever is taken away from them so that we can plant X-Men seeds when the damn X-Men are supposed to be, or mutants in general, are supposed to be representative of marginalized folks, and yet the marginalized folks are
Right.
suffering for those goddamn X-Men. I do want to
Mm-hmm.
see them, but not that bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just thinking about that parallel. I mean, if you think about just characters who non-white characters in the MCU, you gave us Monica Rambeau right there. Look at her situation. Sam Wilson, we've talked about into great detail. I make the argument that Kamala Khan should be in front center of everything, and then we can't find nothing for her to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Shang-Chi made a very interesting and fun family movie.
Still haven't got part 2 of that movie.
She was in
What the
2021.
fuck, bro?
It was like, what happened?
I saw Simi Lewis doing a TV show on Peacock, and I straight up, like, no joke, I'm not even trying to be funny, like, this is not shade, because I actually like that movie. But I said, where do I know him from? I was like, damn, they failed this brother. It took me like 4 minutes to be like, nah, he in some. Damn, he's Shang-Chi, man. How the fuck they dropped that ball so heavy?
So I feel like this is gradually becoming a trend. There's a little trend of how the Ironheart fiasco that we've talked about in great detail on this show.
I feel like, and this is my conspiracy theory behind this, is that all of the 2020 promises, right? And some of these things were in the work before that, but then definitely got the push after 2020. The summer of 2020, we'll never forget, where all Black folks and other marginalized folks were promised, like, ooh, we're not going to forget about you. So all of these projects, all of these things. And then when that steam ran out, or more so, Trump got reelected and all of these other things that started happening, it's just like this regression that has been so aggressive that it is
Very
insane,
aggressive.
because you can tell for something like, even with Ironheart, the Marvels, and the Sam Wilson movie, that obviously there was probably more of substance there, but because of, well, we ain't got to push this no more because we like we're gonna like renege on these promises, that, and they've all been morphed into something else. And I feel like, and this goes beyond the MCU. This goes for other projects as well.
1000%.
But that
Oh,
is
yeah.
like part of my conspiracy theory, that because of that, like, these characters have suffered. Because why the hell is Kamala just not doing anything in the comics right now?
Right.
Cody Ziegler's Miles Morales is getting ready to end at issue 42. It don't even make it to 50, which is insane to me. So
The
it's just,
Spider-Verse movies, I do think, are holding. That last movie is
they
holding
back.
everything up. Everything up.
Yes. And then who knows?
I feel like they didn't renege. I feel like they
You know what?
unneged,
You're right about that.
the last like 3.
You're right.
And it's very it's disheartening, because so many of these companies feel like they wanted to do these things, and then just like they got a change in administration. It was like, finally, whew, yeah, man, no more Black people, right? I mean, it's not our fault. It's really the administration's fault. And I think what's so disheartening for a lot of us is that we saw for a fact that this stuff makes money. So like the argument that, you can't do all this Black shit because nobody's going to watch it, no one's going to make money. It's like, well, we know that's a lie. So to see the unniggification of the timeline, you're like, hey man, so y'all cutting y'all money down and us, like, what could this possibly benefit to give us these half-ass stories? Because it's not like, it doesn't behoove you to have a bomb at the box office just because a Black person starring in it. But yeah,
And with that being said, look who's entered the chat is one Howard Bryant, our friend, our pal. Howard, how you doing, sir?
I'm sorry I'm late. I
Oh,
did
no,
my
you're
best.
Here. You're here. You're here. It's like,
sometimes it's not good enough. What on earth is that sweatshirt?
Wait, what?
Sweatshirt. NYJ?
Yeah. What's that?
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, Howard?
It's the New Jersey
Because I didn't know.
The New York Jets?
I didn't know.
The New York Jets.
What is wrong with you?
For some reason, For some
What's
reason, I
wrong with
root for them.
who?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't
I was
know.
gonna,
Well, I
exactly.
can't
I
talk
don't know.
about that.
Blame it on my
I'm
dad.
sorry.
This man's a New England. You a
He
New England
sure is.
Patriots fan? Yeah, you been spoiled. He's
Y'all
spoiled. He's
only suffered
spoiled,
a
man. That's how they
year.
do us. The rest of us out here,
Only suffered a year. I hate it.
You
Oh man.
y'all root for
And they're
people that don't
back.
win Super Bowls every other year. Damn, couldn't be
And
me.
they're back.
How?
You know what I find
Yes.
fascinating about all this, by the way, and I don't want to interrupt this, but depending on how old you are and where you come from, it is just laughable to me that people look at the Patriots as inevitable. They're losers. We're losers our whole lives. Nothing but losers. And then out of nowhere, they just win. It's the strangest thing. You know, it really is, because it's like this. The Patriots existed for one reason, and that was to be on NFL films getting trampled by everybody else. Like, watch clips of O.J. Simpson. Who's he running through? Patriots. You know, Oakland Patriots, Dolphins Patriots. And now, what do they say around here? They hate us because they hate us.
All right.
All of which is my
Yes.
way of saying, AC, do you know how hard it is to lose this much?
Listen. Amen.
I mean, like, serious. I mean, it's a little bit of shade, but it's also just statistically hard to do, to
2010.
lose this
It's
much.
been 2010. They were in the AFC title game, and since then, not a thing. So,
But I mean, seriously, like when you think about sports and think about like the Detroit Lions, for example, they've been around since 1920. They lose. I mean, that level of losing. Think about the number of people who have come through that building, the personnel, the people who have run the team, all of it. You know, just like winning is like really, really hard, losing is also
thank
really,
you for
really
reminding
hard.
me.
It takes
mean,
a lot of.
It
It takes a lot of
does.
luck.
They're great
It
at
takes
that,
a
though.
lot.
Well, I mean, there's
But
a
you
lot.
got
You get a
it.
lot of
It's a
luck
skill.
too, because like the good teams, they also get luck, but it goes in the opposite direction. So it's like, oh, you guys
That's right.
deflated some footballs. That's all good, bro. Oh,
It's
y'all
okay.
got
We'll be
y'all
all
got
right.
game tape of the other team. Y'all wasn't supposed to. Hey, it's shit happened, bro. Oh, somebody was murdering people. Hey,
Yeah.
up. We just drafted another tight end that's
Amen.
even better than him. Don't even trip on
That's
it.
right. The other guy's better than this guy. He's not going to be. He won't be missed.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
sometimes shit just fall the other way. So
It
that
just
for
falls the other
y'all,
way.
that means there got to be somebody on the other side, and the
That's
Jets.
It is true. It is true. Rod, so you were in the middle
Mm.
of something.
Well,
What did I miss?
Oh, we were just talking about Sam Wilson and why why we not really pressed to see him as the leader of the Avengers after everything that's happened in the MCU with Sam Wilson. And Stephanie had brought up, like it felt like there was a push for diversity in the wake of like Black Lives Matter. George Floyd felt like another push. And now there's like a push the opposite way. She said they kind of reneged on those promises. And
Push.
said, I
It's a
feel
little
like
bit more than a push,
on those
right?
promises.
Well, let's be clear about this. Is not a push. This is a tsunami, right? The push is when you sort of give somebody a little nudge, like, hey, maybe we want to switch gears a little bit. This is like watching the videos of like the tsunami where they're driving down the side of the freeway on the coast, and all of a sudden you just see this ink. It just wipes out the whole town. The George Floyd moment is over. It's long over. It's been over. It was, I talked to Black professionals, and I asked them the simple question. In May of 2020, how many times did your phone ring from people who had never called you in your whole career? I was getting calls from, I've been doing this for 30 something years. People were calling, oh my God, we'd love your work. I'm like, no, you don't. I mean, thank you, but no, you don't. I never heard, hey, Howard, Men's Health calling. Just wanted to say how much we love your work. I haven't heard from y'all ever. Ever.
Wow.
You're right.
I mean, seriously. I mean, and so this, and all because it all went too far. Right? I mean, I put out a thread. I'm not on Twitter anymore, X. So I put out a thread the other day just saying, think about how different things would be, if George Floyd was alive. And and I say that not to be
Mhm.
not to say that in jest at all, but simply to say in all the different directions, um, there's a pretty good chance that Trump already has a second term.
Mm.
I mean, that all just went too far. When you start putting tanks down the street in white neighborhoods in
Mhm.
Minneapolis,
Mhm.
you've gone too far. When you're snatching people off the street, you've gone too far. And being germane to this conversation, from the backlash standpoint, when they, being the mainstream, starts feeling like everything has been blacked up, you've
Yeah.
gone too far,
Mm.
and they will accept sidekicks. They'll accept the anomaly. They will not accept the norm.
Mm.
Benevolence, charity, but not equality. And it's very, very difficult to get equality when you're 12.5% of the
Message.
population. The problem with Black people is that we're 12.5% of the population, but we're not 12.5% of the culture.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We dominate the culture
Yep.
everywhere you go, right? So, what do you do with that juxtaposition? And from a Hollywood standpoint, I mean, we've all been in, adjacent parts of the business or in the business. Um, the attitude was, okay, let's see the numbers. And they had concluded, rightly or wrongly, that it didn't, that a lot of this content didn't perform.
Mm.
And
Right.
obviously, that's not always true. And even if it is true, look at the number of duds out there that don't get held to that same standard,
Right.
because they're
Right.
not going to be held to that same standard. So when you look at somebody like Anthony Mackie, you look at that character. Well, one, as everybody knows,
Mhm.
not my favorite character.
Checkers
As everybody knows
Wilson, you
this.
say?
Checkers Wilson is not my character, right? Everybody else was playing chess. Our man here was like king. He was like king me. You know what I mean? And I say that simply because for that moment, he
Yeah.
really had nowhere to go. Right? I mean, the Isaiah Bradley character exposed him. I don't know why anybody would want to be Captain America, right? I mean, that is as
Yeah.
much dissent as you're going to get, but that's all the dissent you need to completely neuter that character, unless you're going to go all the way. But I've always found that
Mhm.
storyline to be difficult anyway,
Mm.
because Falcon was never a leader anyway.
Mm.
So you're asking a lot from the character itself, even if you just kept it to the comic books, but you're really asking a lot,
Right.
asking him to
Yeah.
follow these guys.
Mm.
You're asking him to follow Chris Evans. You're asking him to follow, Downey Jr. You're asking him to follow Hemsworth. I mean, it's a huge ask, and it's an even bigger ask when you're in sort of hostile cultural territory.
Mhm.
So I wonder if there's anything that Anthony Mackie could do to sort of
What?
exist in this
Yeah.
tide.
Mm.
But the question I was going to say is the
Mhm.
question that I've always had with him anyway is he's not really a leading man anyway.
Mm.
Is it better for? I mean, what is better for him, and what is better for the franchise? What is the best thing for the franchise? In the franchise, I mean, I stopped reading years ago, but in the franchise, how much are you placing on his shoulders? Never
Well, I
mind in the
think the
movies. What were
interesting
you going
thing
to say?
is, especially with this presentation, because this conversation started with the whole, "Oh, look, Chris Evans is back, and we're doing that thing
Yeah,
again, and we're presenting that thing." So the conversation immediately goes to, "Well, you're not putting Sam Wilson in a position to succeed by bringing Chris Evans back." But then my rebuttal to that is, it seems like they haven't been doing that anyway. Um,
yeah. You have to bring if you have a chance to bring
yeah.
Chris Evans
So
back,
like
you bring him back.
But like the way
He's a
that
star.
we've kind of evolved the conversation now is to this point as we're talking about everything since 2020 and how that's changed. Like if you look at all of the non-white MCU characters, there's a disturbing trend of either how they're written, how they're seen, whether they are seen at all, whether they're seen at all.
I was going to say
And I
whether they've seen
mean,
it all.
I didn't even get to mention him, but we have the Wonder Man situation coming in January.
Who?
Wait, what? It's a movie. It's a show.
You got the Wonder Man situation happening, and you could kind of tell. Like, my thing is when Brad Winderbaum, who's EP of Marvel Television, when he comes and says the quotes, and I always take the quotes at face value, where he says that, hey, so this Wonder Man show we really believe in. We really think it's gonna be something great, and we think that it's something that people will like. But then to me, just like they did with Echo, and just like they did with Ironheart, they're releasing Wonder Man all at once. So what that tells me is you don't really believe in it that much. So you're not doing the week to you're not doing the week to week, and right, but what you just said, Steph, the lack of promo, the Ironheart thing, that
I never even heard of it.
That tells you right there. Yeah,
I was like,
Yahya Abdul
who is
Mateen.
Wonder Man?
Now he is.
Now
in this iteration, he is.
In this
TV show,
in
he
this
is.
TV show, which is why you never heard of it. You should have known they race swapped them when you was like, I didn't know they was making that. That's because they race swapped them. They be trying to sneak the black people in.
It's giving Underground
Well-
Railroad, but to hell.
Yeah, they sneaking black people past white folks right now. They like, oh, I'm so upset. I would boycott this if I knew it was coming out, but I guess it's too late.
Well, how much of the old band still exists? So we know that
Yes.
Iron Man is now Doctor Doom. So we know that. So he's gone.
No, Hemsworth is back.
Hemsworth's
Hemsworth
not
will be
coming
back. He will be back for Doomsday.
He's back too.
He'll be back for
Oh,
Doomsday.
they coming back. They went out there. They tried them streets, man. Listen, don't nobody want to see these people outside these
Chris,
types. No offense to
I
them,
did like Furiosa,
but
I think
He did a good job in Furiosa.
yeah, Chris was great in Furiosa. He was.
This is
But
true.
it's
He was
not
great
his
in Knives
movie,
Out.
but he was great in it. He not the lead. Same thing with like ScarJo just made that money in Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that. Right.
She's like Marriage Story money. Although I don't know how much money Marvel still owes me money, right?
Yeah, she
She
got that bag though. She went and got that. But it's just interesting because I
true.
think the movie stars in this that are coming up is like, Elena or whatever. like it's not like that's the only way they can move it up. And unfortunately, they didn't have the baton pass between the old MCU people to the stars of the new the people they want to make a movie around. Like Pedro Pascal has never been in a movie with these other people. So there was no handing off. I think this Doomsday thing may be their, all right, now we're passing the baton. Because I don't think it's Robert Downey back for 10 films. I think he's back for a couple films. And they're like, we know you're going to get out of here. We can't keep paying you $50 million plus royalties and all this shit. So pass that thing to Pedro Pascal so we can move on. And maybe you can get the people that have been stars that they didn't plan on being stars, your Miss Marvels. Maybe you can get them here. And then, you just kind of do the end around with Sam Wilson.
Well, and the whole thing changed in a few different iterations. And iteration number one was in AC, we all talked about this on the show a few years ago. I was convinced that the plan was to get Tom Holland back and to reboot their
he's back and he's gonna do his trilogy again. All I've heard from that movie is that it is going to be amazing. That's essentially they go in street level. They're really leaning in. DDC directing it. He's leaning into the street level stuff. They're tying it to Daredevil. They're doing all of the Kingpin gang war stuff.
Well, that's right. And you have to. And the reason why you have to go street level is because you violate what I refer to as the Peter Jackson rule, which is, one epic per decade, one epic per director. If you have an extinction level event every
Mhm.
movie, then you don't have any extinction level
Yeah.
events. You know, so if you're gonna go, you know, like we've talked about this, if you're gonna go Ditko Marvel or you're gonna go Kirby Marvel. If you're gonna go Kirby Marvel, then you are all about extinction level events because you've got Galactus, you've got, you know, Fantastic Four. They're dealing with extinction level. You're dealing Avengers extinction level. You're dealing with, you know, and that stuff plays very, very well to Hollywood and big budgets and CGI and all of the special effects and all of that. But you
Yeah.
lose track of them all. You lose track of how many times the world is supposed to end, right? And so, what does that do for the continuity of the story? The reason why the story was so good, the Endgame story was so good, was because one, they scattered the extinction level events, you know, like, and you didn't, and they also upscaled them. You didn't realize that in 2012, the Avengers, that was extinction
Right.
level, but it was nothing compared to what was coming, right? How do you upscale from blipping half the population, right? How do you upscale from that devastation? You can't. You've got to tell different stories. And if you don't tell different stories, then you are going to be, it's like, you know, you're hooked on the crack of, okay, this is what we do now, but it's
It
unsustainable.
is. It's just another reason why, like, even in comics itself, it's an event every quarter. Like, there is literally, like, I've been in writers' room
Yeah.
where I've looked at it, and it is an event every quarter, or second quarter, fourth quarter, and there was I don't know if it was an article or just a really long post, but someone was talking about the loss of side characters, like in Spider-Man, the early, yes, and I thought it was really good
Yeah, I read that.
because I feel that way. Even in those earlier films, we have these secondary characters that are not superheroes that we actually do kind of care about. So Happy,
Mm.
Pepper Potts, um, whatever's going, all them people in Thor, but whatever their names are, right?
Yeah.
Loki.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Loki's probably the
Loki.
best example, period, right? Like he's the B guy and he is an A guy in his own right,
Yes,
with the casting and the
we don't
writing.
have
Yeah,
but now
that's
with
right.
these other films or TV shows, even, we really, it's like it's mirroring the comics, or the comics are mirroring the film, whoever is the chicken and the egg, but there's no reason to care about an extinction level event, right? Like, I don't care. They're just gonna come back, and that's the same in comics. Like, it's just gonna reset, they'll come back. The only way that you can really get me to care is if I invest in these smaller stories, these more intimate stories, so that I can get to know these characters, so that by the time we get to another extinction level event, I'm like, well, damn, are they gonna survive? I know that they will, but I'll care. Yes.
It actually feels like it's
Yeah.
extinction. It has to
And,
feel
and I
like
think
extinction.
also it's not necessarily the extinction level event. Like things can feel desperate when it's also just stuff like the dissolution of the family that was the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like the third movie had stakes because I was like, oh,
Yes.
they're not gonna be a family at the end of this. They're
Mhm,
gonna split
mhm.
up. And I have learned to care about these people being together over the course of
That's
this
right.
many years. Trying to start that clock over at zero is just so difficult because you're not gonna give me enough time with uh Captain Marvel for me to feel the heartbreak of the end of a Captain Marvel movie if you're not really supporting those stories. I would
Yeah,
like to
that's right.
see in the Spider-Man thing if they try to do the baton pass to like John Bernthal as the Punisher because he's a movie star. Like they got to find stars if they're going to
Which is why
like
they should have never
move it
killed
on.
Marissa Tomei.
But also, are there
Yeah,
any
they did.
movie
Yep.
stars like that today?
Great point, and I think about this a lot. Yes, there are no the movie star is dead. Like Robert Redford died, and I was like, we'll never have that. Like the guy who's a kind of a recluse, art house, but also superstar, famous for working and being good at work. That's over. Like these motherfuckers be on TikTok giving us their opinions and shit. We're never looking at these people the same.
Yeah.
And streaming killed it the most because there were people that were designed to be movie
They're
theater
all
leave
in
your
it.
house people,
I see
and now
John
they're
Hamm in every
on
TV
my
show
TV.
on
Like
streaming. Like it's incredible.
Yeah,
It's
dog.
incredible to watch. And I think you guys all made a great point. Like Steph, the point that you made about the side characters and those people that we care about. I just think about the Ant-Man movies. The first two
Yeah.
had Luis and the crew.
Even
The
T.I. Was he in
even
that movie?
even
Or am I
Ti.
getting my rappers mixed up? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
was.
didn't
yes,
Back
care,
it up.
but you know,
Back
T.I.
it up.
being in
I
it,
remember
so
that.
sure.
Yeah.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
Well, and there's a couple.
Dog,
Mhm.
why I thought this would have been so funny. They didn't do it, obviously. But man, they should have started fucking
that would have been
Yes.
Endgame with
tremendous.
Luis doing a recap.
Yep.
That shit would have killed. That shit would have killed because those recaps he did in Ant-Man are the funniest part of the movie is him explaining the workings of the MCU plot line, but just like a regular dude. But yeah, the fact that he's not even in it after that in any real capacity.
Well, because they wanted to go,
such a
but that's the
ball
thing.
drop,
They
man.
wanted to go huge. I think the point that these movies, like you think about Multiverse of Madness, has Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch in it, and you think about the Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie having the other Spider-Mans in it, and all these villains and stuff like that. It reminds me of the NBA with the salary cap cutting out the middleman. And it's like we can only have the big people, and that's it. We can't
All or
focus
nothing.
on. You need
Yeah,
your role
it's all or nothing.
players. You need those people to kind of fill in the gaps and make your not only your mains matter, but then you care about them too.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get like think about
Right.
Phil Coulson back in the day. Like that was meaningful. And he was just a small character, but he ended up mattering in the
was.
grand scheme of things.
That's true. End up getting 3
Exactly.
seasons of a
So
TV show. out of
that's
that shit.
where that's such a great point because they've kind of lost that aspect of things, and it's kind of forced you in the way that we're watching it now, like especially with the way that they're trying to hotshot all of this without really doing the storyline, and we're just going to go straight to Doctor Doom. This rollout, this teaser rollout is interesting, but even with that, there's going to be a lot of questions going into it, trying to figure out what makes sense, will it make sense, and stuff like that. So that's where when we talk about like not only Sam Wilson, it's not just Sam Wilson leading the Avengers or not leading the Avengers being funny, because it is funny in its own face when you think about the way that they portrayed the character. But then also but go ahead.
You know, actually,
He can.
Anthony Mackie can be funny. And I'm saying this. I watched Twisted Metal. I'm not.
He has a
lying to
funny
you guys.
face.
He can be funny. There is a way to make him the guy who's really pissed about not being the leader. That will bring something out of
Rod,
that
I'm
character
telling
that
you,
we haven't gotten on.
They have to do the story
so
that the
stoic.
Thunderbolts post-credit scene is talking about, where he's taking them to court
He
over
should sue them.
the new Avengers name. It has to be in the next movie.
It would be funny to watch him be pissed about being passed over. Like, it's very meta. Is what happens in real life. But like, I would honestly laugh at that storyline. Have She-Hulk and Matt Murdock versus each other in the courtroom. Like, make it a big MCU thing and let's have some fun with it, you know? Because right now he's the least fucking fun character, man. Like, he's always fucking serious.
He's too earnest.
Yeah.
And the George Floyd piece of it made him so earnest. That ridiculous speech at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You know, I mean,
the pound
I
cake
was looking
speech.
at that. I'm looking at that going, there's no coming back from this.
Pound cake.
There's no coming. How do you come back from this?
What if Sam would have did the pound cake speech at the end of that? Like, you need to pull your pants up. That's the problem.
Exactly.
You mad at these white people? Y'all shooting each other.
Even if he would have committed to that, I would have said, okay, well, that is a Negro that I know on the street somewhere. He made a choice.
He made a choice.
That's the thing. They even the part where like he couldn't get a loan, even though he helped. He could
oh man,
he couldn't get a loan.
Dog.
You know who they needed in that scene? I was like, damn, so y'all got two brothers in this universe that can't get a loan. You got Don Cheadle and Boogie Nights. He couldn't get a loan. I'm an actor. You're a pornographer. I'm an actor. Now you got Chuckers can't get a loan either. The brothers can't get no loan.
Go to Kamala Khan
and on top of that, you know who else couldn't get a loan? Ben Urich from Falling Down. Bonnie Curtis Hall couldn't get a loan. He was
Oh,
in front of the
man.
bank. He wasn't economically viable.
Maybe not.
Mm.
The movies be telling the truth, dog. They just slide it in there.
And who was looking at him but Hank Pym?
I
like
remember
that?
somebody joked online once with the Sam Wilson getting a bank loan thing. They said, "Man, he couldn't have gone to Pepper Potts," and I was like, and then I was like, "Was Pepper opening the door?
You
I
couldn't
don't
just
know
call-
about that."
exactly. Call
Pepper,
Pep.
her phone is on D&D.
Pep, like,
She
I don't
said
know
the hell
you.
with all of them.
I don't know you.
I have not seen
No.
Pepper with that many black people. Now that we bring it up, it's just Don Cheadle.
That's right.
That's it.
Exactly. And put some shoes on, Pep.
Yeah.
Oh my
Can't really
god!
mess with
Walking
them
around
like
barefoot
that.
in every movie. Talk about going Tarantino.
Oh my God, you're right. 'Cause especially in the third movie, does she have shoes?
Right.
No.
She barefoot in the
Yeah.
whole movie. She
Whole
barefoot in
movie.
all of them.
It's
I
Quentin
bet it
Tarantino's
is.
favorite
US one.
MCU
Yeah.
movie.
Exactly.
Jesus.
That's right.
But yeah, I feel like the way that, at least the way that they're going into Avengers Doomsday, where they're gonna have this kind of this Reed Richards probably going back and forth with Sam Wilson to a degree, and then however when they meet the X-Men, because they're gonna meet the X-Men, because you got the whole Monica Rambeau thing, and this is where I was like, there is so many things going on that they gotta
They
just
need
try
name
and
tags.
yes.
Because
There's so many
I'm
characters
already
in this movie.
annoyed
Yeah.
because I'm
Very
gonna
fair
get
point.
calls from family members asking me, like, I'm Ash Jeeves, who's this? Who's I don't know.
Yep.
All of them.
How many of these do I have to
All
see
of
for this to make sense? All of them.
Mhm.
I just need them, and I will forgive so many things. I just need them to kill all these motherfuckers immediately. Like, I don't just kill the nostalgia.
Flip
Make
them.
everyone's mouth open in the theater. Like, what the fuck? You spent all that time hyping that these people were gonna be in a movie, and
Yeah.
Doom erases them in like 5 minutes. And
Oh, yeah.
Like the way Wanda killed the elders and
yes, I want that.
she
I
just
want
wiped
them
them
to.
all
I want
out.
them to play the fucking MCU
clowned
theme
them.
song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the X-Men theme song. I want fucking Picard back in that chair, dog. Like, I need all that. I want them people to be like, oh, we finally getting back to the recipes. And then they'll be like, actually, no, the fuck we're not. You got Sam Wilson is what's left. And now you see how uphill a battle it is, because these motherfuckers couldn't do it. You know Sam ain't gonna be able to talk Doom down. What are
Yeah,
we
you
gonna
gonna-
do?
you
Now
gonna
we
be-
got stakes.
Well, and you can't have Doom.
Yes.
You can't have Doom without the Fantastic Four, right? He doesn't
Yeah, they
mean
coming.
anything.
They gonna be in there.
Also,
Exactly.
how does that
He doesn't
work?
mean anything to the rest of them.
So
Yeah.
I mean, so I saw
Um,
Fantastic Four
Yeah.
because I couldn't check into my hotel right away. So I said,
Mhm.
well, might as well go see a matinee, right?
Yeah.
I'll go to the
So I
movies until
saw
my
it,
room's
and I know
ready.
that it takes place in another universe, so on and so forth. What are we doing? Are we opening up a portal? Is Doctor Strange doing the little hand thing? Is he still alive?
Right.
Oh,
Well, you know,
We're doing that
Dr.
time
Doom's
machine. We're
machine.
doing a version of the 2015 Secret Wars comic. The incursion, multiverse collapsing on each other story.
Mhm. Yes, incur them motherfuckers. That's it. Bring them people back and incur the shit out of their ass right away, dog. That's stakes. It's like, oh, this motherfucking Doom killed all the X-Men
I
we grew up
mean,
loving. They
to
just
your
gotta
point,
they gotta
Rod,
kill
because
these people.
I don't know if you
man.
guys have watched it. Welcome to Derry. I finally went ahead and watched it, and I thought it was pretty good.
I need to, because I just
Yeah.
watched the movies and I need to get to it, but I
I
am
heard
gonna
it's
watch it
good.
over this week.
I haven't
Racial
seen it.
trauma down, but it works
Mm.
I heard it's good,
because the black meat is the sweetest for many different reasons because of the
no.
torment. Yeah.
Mm.
When whoever
No.
wrote that line, I hope they
Mm.
get their Emmy
Oh,
because in the
boy.
context it worked. But yeah, his ass said, "Oh,
man.
he sure
Did
did."
the clown say that?
He said it on the
The
phone.
It said that.
Yes, he
What
did.
the fuck?
You said
No, we didn't
black
say
meat
that.
is the sweetest.
No,
It's because we season our food,
because
AC.
it frees. No,
It gets in our
it's-
pores and shit. Like, it's not salt and pepper to
because
taste. All them showers and stuff that we be taking, that's marinating
Come on, man.
ourselves.
Because of the racism.
White people don't
the
even wash
racism
their
makes it
legs.
sweeter
Would
because
you
it
eat?
loves pain. Yes, all of that.
Oh, the racism make
We've
it
been,
taste
yep,
better. Okay.
tenderized to the
Racism.
hill.
I tried to.
So,
Yeah. It's like
Uh-huh.
that was like there's a clip going around with I think is it I don't remember if it's Jimmy Fallon or if it's Conan
Oh,
O'Brien
no.
talking to
Let's see
Sigourney
what she
Weaver about
said.
her favorite sandwich. And she said, my favorite sandwich, and she gave the story about aliens and or Alien when she was auditioning for it. And she got back to her hotel room and she had, it was a slice of bread,
Oh
a
my
tomato,
God.
and some cottage
Well,
cheese.
that's
I
a
know she
very.
told
That's a
us, too.
sandwich?
She probably told
See?
us to bring it.
She was just hungry.
Exactly.
She was just
Exactly,
hungry.
because she was like sitting. Exactly. It was a great story,
Of
but I
course.
was like,
But I bring it
of
up
all the
because
sandwiches in the world.
All right. And if you was gonna eat people, you're not eating people that
Right?
eat cottage cheese, tomato, and bread, dog. You gotta
Yeah.
go. They not even putting Miracle Whip on it or nothing. You
well,
going with us.
Legendary
Whip.
does
Damn.
something
It
that
makes
I think,
sense.
Right.
really works that maybe the MCU could borrow from in that very first episode. That could make it so that I don't know, maybe we care because you got to start from scratch when we thought
Yeah.
you were gonna go another way.
Mm.
Am I gonna see Doomsday in theater? Sure. Of
Mm-mm.
sure I am. I'm gonna see it just because,
course.
but
I'm gonna see
I
it.
hate now that when I go see a MCU movie, it's really more so because, well, we ain't been to the movies in a long time, and I would like to go to IMAX, and I want some nachos, which I
Mm.
don't need because they're $1 billion, but that's why I'm going to the theater. Because even like Robert Downey Jr. being brought back just feels so tired and out of ideas. Like
Yeah.
bottom line, executive
Out
was
of
like, well, he
ideas.
sells a lot, so let's bring him in. And it just the MCU now just really feels like C-suite has their fingers all over it, and of course they do. Want to make more money.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, and you've got a couple of things at work that you just that the moviegoer could see a mile away,
Yeah.
and I think that Disney could see a mile away and didn't care, which was basically, we are tossing so much coal into this oven, into this engine, right?
No.
No.
None of it makes sense anymore.
Right.
Like I mean, if you combine,
We are at
what is
37.
the count right now? If you combine the movies and the TV
Yeah, we're at
shows, what,
37
31?
movies.
37. 37. 37. That's
In
37
2008.
movies
Iron
since
Man
what
was
was the
May
first
of
one?
2008. Yep.
2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in 17 years,
And
you've
then
got
that's
37
not even
movies
including the TV
And
shows.
TV
The
shows. Right.
and
this is
TV shows.
38 movies on
Oh,
its
that's
own.
not counting
The
the
TV
TV
shows are a
shows.
whole
Just
other
God.
separate thing.
Shit.
And the,
But
That is
like
insane.
part
Yeah,
of it
true.
is
To a
also
degree.
our expectations, right? Because like when I watch LeBron James at 41, which I'm not on the he better win a championship or bust. Like I've moved way past. I'm like, oh, cool, 40-year-old man can score 30 points. If you still want to measure him by 25 and 30-year-old standards, then yeah, you're gonna be eternally like, why don't you just fucking quit? But I think at this point with Marvel, I'm walking in the theater like, oh yeah, I know these characters. I want to see where the story is going, but I'm not attached.
See, but I don't know these characters. That's the whole thing. The characters that I
well,
know are
yeah.
either dead and gone. Like how?
Yeah. Well,
and
when I
now
say
they're
I
coming.
know these
That's
characters, I
why
mean
they're
it in
bringing
the
them
way.
back.
I mean it in the way of like I've been a nerd that reads these comics my whole life. So
Right.
That's
you're
right.
not introducing me to anyone. Like
That's right.
like
Which
I come to
answers
the
which
theater, I'm
answers
like,
the question.
you say
Yeah.
Wonder Man. I'm like, he not white no more because I actually do know Wonder Man. Like,
Exactly.
so like
No,
I
we're
know
just
I'm the
classes.
person for this shit. Like I'm the one. It doesn't. I had after Endgame, I was able to just like be like, all right, they shot their wad. This is now much like comic books. It's cyclical. You'll have some ups. You're gonna have some downs. A lot more downs than ups from this point on. And as long as I'm still enjoying some of it, I'll keep going. I'm sure there's gonna be shit in Doomsday that I will enjoy, just even if it's the smile of like, oh fuck, man, that's
Mm-hmm.
Robert Downey Jr. under that mask. They got me, so I'm definitely gonna
Yeah,
be there.
same.
But yeah, it's the
Well,
law of diminishing
the
returns.
end of Fantastic Four,
Yeah,
you know, and the place went wild when
yeah. When you saw
Yeah.
Galactus
and
be
that,
what Galactus actually supposed to look like, people in my audience were like, oh, you could feel the like, oh, finally. And that's just a
Right.
type of nerd who has wanted to see Galactus for fucking 25
Yeah.
years. Like that's
Yeah,
who this is
that's
for
right.
now. We have moved from this is for everybody, I think, and where they're all cultural events to this is
Yeah,
for a
they're trying to make it
dwindling
for the. They're trying to make these
number
movies
of
honestly
people
more
who are
comic
just
book.
here
Like
to
I
be
even
like,
see it with James Gunn and DC. Like the way that they're trying to do it too, to a degree. And
yeah.
Well, James Gunn just
in
made
its
it look
own
like
way.
Marvel.
Yes.
Mm.
I
That's why
mean,
like I'm wondering what the law of diminishing returns will be on that. Like the yeah.
I mean, Superman didn't make $1 billion, bro.
heavy.
Like the fact that Superman didn't make $1
Well,
billion
the
does
medium,
say
yeah.
something about like all of this, like not just
The
superhero
fact that we're
fatigue,
talking
but
about $1
like
billion is crazy in of itself.
is that yeah, like this, like between the streaming, being able to
Yeah.
wait 3 weeks and see the movie on something you're already paying for on your screen, the expense of the theater, of course, which is always kind of felt expensive, but it keeps going up. And then like the lack of having movie stars, right? Like none of these people are really movie stars anymore. They're people that have a lot of gigs. When you see
With
Zoe
Groupie?
Saldana on a commercial
Yeah.
and in Avatar, that's no longer a movie star. You know what I'm saying? So I think we've lost as a society a lot, and the MCU is a great reflection of how much we've lost. Because yeah, maybe 10 years ago these were $1 billion ideas. Now they're
Well,
like, oh, we broke even.
That's right. Well, technology has done that, right? I mean, when you look at, you know, I'm the old one of the bunch. So when you're looking at baseball, for example, why did we care about the All-Star game? Because when I was
Yeah.
growing up, that was the only time you get to see the National League. I didn't grow up in a two-team city. So when you grow up in Boston, you never see the Mets and the Phillies, and you saw the Dodgers and the Cubs on the Saturday game of the week, but you needed that game. Like before you had the NBA package, you needed the All-Star game to see all these teams that you don't see anymore,
Yeah.
that you couldn't see. Now you can see everybody at all times, and it changes the visibility, it changes the dynamic. The reason why we called them movie stars wasn't just because they took up the screen. It was because you had to go to the movies to see them. And now you don't. Now, in between the second and third quarter, you look at, there's Zoe Saldana doing commercials. And so all of that changes the urgency of needing to see them. And then also it goes back to the question that we've been talking about before. And it's always a small number,
Sure.
and it needs to be a small number. And I'm going to throw two things out at you. One, the reason why there are movie stars is because there are very few people who can carry a movie. That's the reason. It's not a big list of people who you can expect to carry 2 hours of action, 2 hours of anything. But to the point earlier about the diminishment of the universes and the diminishment of the families, I think maybe they're making up for the lack of development of these secondary characters by trying to throw in more movie stars. So instead of having Betty Brant and Peter Parker and J. Jonah Jameson and the rest
The
of them,
Punisher and
we'll
Hulk
just
are in this
bring
next
in more
Spider-Man
superheroes.
movie.
There'll be more of them. That
Right.
Exactly, right? And so if that is the strategy, then now you got to give these characters something to do. Like one of the, on the one hand, the fan service at the end of Endgame was terrific because you got your resolution that they got unblipped. But on the other hand, there wasn't enough screen time to give everybody something to do. I mean, we didn't know Chadwick Boseman was dying, so he got to do one scene in that. But generally speaking, when you have that many characters, somebody's not getting any screen time.
Yep.
you turn Hulk into a sideshow. And so, when you actually need his muscle the most, and he was a joke. Um, so it's going to be really interesting to see how you cram all these people. And it was the thing with Spider-Man, right? I mean, you've decided that you have to have extinction level events. So what do you do when you have Spider-Man and Mysterio in the middle of a movie?
Yeah.
Neither one of those guys can save the world or destroy it.
Right.
And
It
yet,
was
so they
good.
tried to still put them. It was good, but they still
Yeah.
they put Spider-Man in this situation that he was underpowered. I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work, right? This is it's interesting to watch, but
Well, I
the
think
suspension of
Spider-Man's
disbelief is just
extinction
way
level
too
event in
high.
that movie, the reason that movie works for people
Yeah.
is that the extinction level event is his identity being exposed.
It's his identity, and that was the next point.
Because
That
it's
was the
so
next point I was
personal.
gonna make.
Like
That's
if you
right.
can't, you don't like to blow up a world, man. Like as human beings, all of us live in worlds that are blown up by the smallest infinitesimal thing that
Yeah.
will not change the math of the universe in any
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
It's a trip to the doctor. It's a car crash. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Well,
with these heroes, if the whole stakes is always like the multiverse has to, you're just not gonna. Everyone can't get up for that, but I can get up for, yo, this motherfucker right here can't walk down the street and just be with his girlfriend again because everybody know who he is. I'm interested to see where you take that, and
Yeah.
I don't need that to be like the scrolls are coming.
Well, but this is, and this goes back to the second point that Stephanie was talking about earlier that I wanted to sort of amplify, which is part of the reason why you could have a familial universe in the comic books was, unless you're the Fantastic Four, nobody knew who you were. So there were two stories taking place. There was the story of you and your alter ego, and then the story of you in your superhero costume.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those things interacted, but most times they didn't. And most times you were trying to keep them, and so keep them separate because the lives of your friends and family depended on them being separate. And now, from a technological standpoint, and a progress standpoint, in a surveillance state, how do you even have a secret identity? Everything is. Peter Parker can't go in the alley and change his clothes anymore. There's a camera right there, right? You can't change anywhere in public anymore, right? So I had always, when I remember the end of that movie, I was like, okay, in some ways this is appropriate because secret identities are kind of outdated now. Everybody knows everything, but at the same time, what are you going to do with that? Like, you fundamentally changed the entire
what I found
universe
interesting about what they ended up doing was they forced him to learn the lesson the hard way because he kept trying to push through and push through and push through, thinking that he could fix everything. And then he's just like, all right, I got to give everything up because clearly this situation is not working. And what I like about at least what it looks like this movie, the story that it's going to try and tell, is the after effects of that. It's like you're now leaning into. It kind of reminds me of what the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman movie was. It was Batman just trying to be Batman, not be Bruce Wayne at all. And what does that look like? Right, exactly.
That's
so
right.
I want to see like a Peter Parker who can't be Peter Parker because it hurts too much. And how does he get back to that version of himself? Is the story that I'm looking forward to seeing how they tell them. Yeah,
which is a much smaller story than an Incursion. You know what I mean? Like those movies are probably the highest rated in the MCU, other than maybe the Captain America movie. Well, no, Brave New World. So yeah, I bet the Spider-Man per movie probably has the highest MCU ratings of like what people approve of. And it's because those stories are fucking small. They're just a boy going to the prom and finds out the dude's dad doesn't fuck with him. You know what I mean? Like it's I want to go on an overseas trip with my high school or whatever. It's just, oh, here comes this hating motherfucker, and now my identity's exposed. Like the stories are small but they are so huge in his life, and there's very few of these heroes that have got that. The movies almost always start with like, and if they don't do this, everyone's gonna die. And it's, I don't know, it's losing its effect.
And also, it's very important as well because I think it's appropriate because what other than the
Yeah.
most trivial shit in the world is the most
Yeah.
important thing to a high schooler?
Right.
That is your whole world, right? I mean, the adults look at you like, you'll get over it, right? But to you, this, whether Mary Jane likes me or not, is my world. That's everybody. That's every high school kid, right? And so all of that sort of gets blown up.
Yep.
There is no Peter Parker right now because every villain, I mean, this is the reason why he didn't want to get close to anybody. This is the entire character is going to undergo something different. It'll be really interesting. I will go to the movies to see how they choose to play that.
Yeah, me too.
What they choose to do with that. But I do think as well that when you're looking at, okay, because I totally admitted it. I had Marvel fatigue once Endgame hit. I was like, I'm gonna need about 18 months.
Yeah.
and we got about 18 minutes. Right. I mean, I still believe, and I know that there's mixed reaction to this, but I had no problem with WandaVision. I thought WandaVision was great. I still think it's great. I never saw Werewolf by Night. I never finished Moon
It's hard
Knight.
to if you're not like.
I mean, I was done. I was like, I can't keep up with all of this. And there's one other thing worth discussing, which is making me wonder about my own. As much as a comic guy, as I am, when I went to go see Avengers, my son was 7 years old. He's 21 now. It's a different game. So it's a different father-son experience going to the movies. He's a man now. I mean, he's still sort of into it. He's still definitely into it when he's around. But these were events.
Even the movie-going experience,
these were events
too, right?
for
Because
little
assigned
kids as well.
seating, unless you were going to a special theater, you had to get in line.
And that's right. You had to get in line. And then there's another piece of that too, Stephanie, that's really important. And that is now that the movies are being fundamentally destroyed, you've got, and this was true of Doctor Strange especially, and Spider-Man, and Fantastic Four now, all the new ones, right?
Yeah.
You've got 25 showings every half an hour. So no theater is full. So you're not getting
the opening night showing, opening
You've got
day.
to go to the Friday night
to get that crowd.
Yep.
You got to go the opening show to get a full house. I mean, because I used to, go to, you go to the 2:00 Friday show. There's 4 of us in there.
That's true.
And other than it being on the big screen, you're not getting the magic. I will tell you, the 2 most magical moments that I've ever had in a movie theater. I would say 3, but I can't think of what the third one would be. But the first one was my local cinema. This was 2016. My local cinema was, we do a sound and cinema, everything in the summer at the Art House Theater, and they showed Purple Rain, and Prince had just died. That place was like a wake and a concert at once. It was packed, and people were actually moved. Like, it was emotional. It was an emotional experience. And the second one was an Infinity War when they blipped Peter Parker. The place went bananas.
Go back at that time.
I mean, it was like people were screaming.
Black Panther faded away, and somebody walked out. The black person walked out the theater. They were so mad.
Right? Yep. I mean, that you want to talk about? It's like the scene in Hitchcock, where he walks out of the theater when they're doing the psycho slasher music, and he's being a conductor. In other words, I nailed it. I got him. I got him. I got him right where I want him. Right. This is what the movies is all about, and that type of energy, that type of excitement. You can't get that if the house isn't full on opening night.
You also
that's why
you also can't get that twice.
Lightning in a bottle.
Like, that's just green.
Exactly.
Like, it's never we're never having that again. I remember that feeling. I started laughing like a maniac as people were crying around me because I was like, they nailed it. What the fuck what is the odds that we all knew this was coming, and look at everyone in the throes of emotion, blindsided,
Yep.
because it was
Yes.
a trope done correctly still works, right? Like a
That's
theme
right.
done correctly, there's no there might be it might be almost boring to see somebody throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball straight, but it'll never really be boring because if it's done correctly, you're like, God damn, there ain't too many people that could do that. They can't
That's
have
right.
that again. And I think the pursuit of it
Yeah,
is
they're always
where
chasing that
you're
high of
just
those
gonna get the
billions
diminishing
that they
returns
made for
because
those two
everything
movies.
is just
That's right.
Like you're never gonna
appealing.
get that level
Yeah.
again in that medium. Yeah.
People were screaming, boycott Marvel. They were yelling at the screen, boycott Marvel, when when Peter Parker,
Yeah.
and the thing that
I
I
remember.
missed about it, I was like, this is crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and what was even more poignant about it in that scene is
Yeah.
because Peter Parker has a spider sense, he knows it's coming before it happens.
Mm-hmm. I don't feel
You
so
know?
good, Mr. Stark. You're like,
I don't feel so good, right? Exactly.
Yes.
And when they started showing him, people were like,
Oh,
no, not him, right?
Yeah.
Not him. And then one of the, my son's best friend, was watching it, and they're both sitting next to me, and he looked at me and he
and
said,
it still hit.
yeah, but I read online that they're all coming back soon. So they knew
It
that
still
it was
hit.
going to happen,
right.
but it still was a knockout blow.
A
It's
thing
always
done
about the
well,
execution
bro.
in
You
these
did
things.
It,
You
you
That's
did it
right.
right. That's why it worked.
And so that piece of it, I do think you can get back
Yes.
because there's still obviously a way to do
Yeah,
things right, but you got to hit.
well, I was just gonna say real
It's
quick,
got to
like
hit.
Sure.
nothing
And
has been
so,
done too many times. We can still recapture that, but it requires a different voice behind the scene and different characters and actually putting in to work to make it something. Like I said, I had no interest in watching it. This is not related to Marvel, but because of
Yeah.
what Welcome to Derry was able to accomplish in that first
Right.
episode, it made me say, "Oh, I'm gonna watch the rest." And I did, and I knew what I was going to get into. Is in 1962, there are black
Mhm.
folks
Right.
here. We're up in Maine. There's going to be some racism, but I was willing to concede with that because of the writing and what they did with it, the commitment to just the storytelling, following these kids, the rest of this town. Like I knew what was going to happen. We know that it is going to get killed, and at the end of chapter 2, I knew this, but I didn't care because of the work put into it. Yeah, I even now, just because of the way that things have changed.
Good point.
Yep.
Another article I was reading was talking about how like Broadway and plays were the big thing until movies killed it. And then same thing with radio was big until TV killed it. And now
Yeah.
when it comes to movies, we're watching everything on our phones. So
Yeah.
how could movies even still have the impact that they're supposed to? Because now
Everybody's
it's switching
recording
to
every single thing and
yes.
putting it online just intermittently throughout the day.
So what does that look like? So what does a story look like that that can exist in the world that we are today? How do you got to do things differently. Like we can't do things the way that we were before because the landscape has just changed so much. But because of the way executives, Hollywood, and everybody else works, if the one thing made money, then we just keep doing it over and over again. You think K-pop Demon Hunters 2 is going to be as huge as it was as the first one was? Probably not. It might maybe that first day, but it's not going to be the phenom that this first movie was. But as always, nobody really understands that. They're just looking at the bottom line. And of course, it's a business. Why not?
Yeah, it's like people.
Right.
No,
That's a good point about K-pop Demon Hunters, because that was an end of, to Howard's point, that was like an individual experience that everyone experienced separately that brought people together to where they went to movie theaters to watch it as an event. That is the exact opposite of what Marvel's kind of been doing. It's been like, all right, y'all want to watch this together? Fuck it. Good on Disney
it's like
Plus.
the
Y'all
executives
watch it separately then. We don't give a damn.
The
Just give us the
idea of
money.
what Barbenheimer became and said,
yeah.
well, we're going to do a bunch of Mattel spin-offs. How about that? Let's do that instead. And
How about that?
Because we didn't
It's
watch
just
this
yeah,
movie
it's
or understand
incredible
the plot.
to see how there's so many, and I think the same thing. I mean, this year we had Sinners, and there are some movies that are coming out now that seem to be capturing some people's imagination and attention, and you still can do it, but there has to be a dedication and effort to originality, and if you're not able to do that, you will always run up against it at some point regardless, because you have to be,
Yeah.
because you're not just telling these stories to us, you're telling stories to people who are older than us and younger than us. You have to find that pocket for everybody who's coming up. That's why something like Sinners, and regardless of how many media outlets try to downplay it, something about it captured everybody who went and saw that and went to see it again. And when they said 70 millimeters, we putting it in Union Square, or Lincoln Square. You're gonna go see that. You're gonna go see that twice and three times. That was one of the few events that I've seen this year, where it's like people treated that like, I need to go see this, and it's also in the marketing. It's like it's in the original way of marketing. Ryan
Yeah.
Coogler being
Mhm.
so excited to state the difference between what type of film you're watching on what type of film it actually is, literally, is the difference between a bunch of people going in to see your movie and making it a huge
Mhm.
cultural phenomenon, and something like people getting upset with the Avengers because they're just throwing out these random 1 minute teasers, and everybody's like, well, where's Sam Wilson? Why are we doing this with Chris Evans and whatnot? So it's like you kind of see the juxtaposition and
Hmm.
the different sides of what's
Mhm.
going on here. And I feel like originality is something that, hey man, people should still be striving for that. But between the AI and everything that's going on, they're trying to cut that out the way. So that's where executives be executing, you know?
Mhm.
Well, you also have to remember too. I mean, and I don't know how many times these questions are actually being asked. I don't think I'm unique in this at all, but I do wonder. Um,
Mm.
when do you decide that we killed it?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
when do we decide that this isn't the forever game? Um, like people, when I said that I had Marvel fatigue, the first thing everybody said was, "Yeah, but they're not going to kill that gravy train." Well, you're killing the gravy train. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're killing the gravy train by continuing to run the gravy train. Like you're running it right into the ground. And so you begin to ask yourself, like, to Stephanie's
Yeah.
point,
Yes.
how many of these do I need to see?
No.
If
And
the
then the
answer is
shows that
all
you
of
had
them, then you
Disney.
failed
Mhm.
because no one's watching 38 movies.
Well, I have
I'm
too,
I'm
but
watching I'm watching 38 movies.
You've
I
seen
just
all
want to say,
38?
yeah, I'm built for this. Like when you say you was fatigued, I didn't want to judge you, but some of us is built for this,
No,
Howard.
no,
You know, some
no,
of
it's
us got
true.
that
And I've
dog in
seen,
us.
yeah.
We gonna see it
some
all.
of
Well,
us do, and some of us are just not going to watch She-Hulk.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm like it's not
But you know
like I
what?
said.
But
It's
Rod, you know where I'm at on this. If I
yeah.
read you as a kid, I'm watching you. If
Hmm.
I didn't read you as a kid, I'm probably not going to be that interested. And I remember when
I get
She-Hulk.
interested. That's what I'm saying. I
I
wake
remember
up in
when
the
She-Hulk.
morning. I'll be like
Mhm.
Wonder Man. Bet. That's all. That's it.
Okay,
see,
there you
oh
go.
That's
All
all.
god,
right. But
I
I
made it
remember.
through Secret Invasion. This ain't shit, Howard. This ain't shit to
Come
me.
on. Yeah, I remember when She-Hulk joined the Fantastic Four, and I was like, "This has jumped the shark."
what a reference!
I'm like, "This is
Oh
Fonzie
my
on
god!
water skis."
Oh, hashtag watch agenda. I love it.
Right?
I
I
I
love it.
mean,
think to Howard's point,
Yeah.
because don't often like to tell people, like when I'm at conventions, I lie and I'm like, I did see that. I ain't seen shit. I tried to watch Thunderbolts while I was on the plane and I didn't make it. And I said, you know what? Never mind. And it's not even because I don't want to care. I want to care, but I
yeah.
know that when I get done watching this movie, it's just kind of like, I saw it, I guess. And
Mhm.
then that's a personal thing, I guess, for me. That is it I've moved past this, which is insane because I'm still writing comics, or is it more so they've lost I don't the
Mm-hmm.
magic touch or whatever, or they're just not. It just feels like we're putting out stuff, right? Like it just feels like, yeah,
I think it's two. I think it's two things though, right?
no, they
Like
Just
can't.
unrealistic.
they can't have 38 hits in a row. Like that's like they're doing
Mhm.
something unprecedented. We've gotten
Yeah,
used to the unprecedented, right? It's the why doesn't LeBron retire thing, right? Is some of us are like, why the fuck would he retire?
Yeah.
no,
You're 40 and you're
I
still a
get
top
that.
10 player. I want to see how this thing
On a max
finishes.
deal.
Right. And then there's other people who are like, if he can't win a championship, he should just go home and be a family man. And I'm like, I get it. It's just they kept making this thing, and eventually people was gonna fall off. But I think like Thunderbolts is a movie that made me cry. I thought the ending was so good. It landed like in a way that other films in the MCU have not in years for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try it
it got
again.
better. It got
Yeah.
better because at first I was like, this is gonna suck. And the reason why I didn't like it at the beginning
Mhm.
Yeah.
was
That was
because I was
centric.
like, here we go again. This guy's all powerful. How do you
Mhm.
beat him?
Mhm.
I was like, how do you win? It's like he can do. It was like the scene on Titan and Infinity War. I'm like, okay, if he can just turn your ass into bubbles, you can't beat him.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that's all he needs to do to like turn whatever laser beam into like ravens and shit flying,
But nothing
you
beats the
can't
power
beat
of
him.
friendship.
Or
Let me
bats,
tell you.
whatever he made that out
Right.
of, you can't win. But
Yeah.
exactly, right? And
Family.
so that was it. Family. And
Oh,
so
Florence Pugh.
that, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah.
feel like one of the most poignant,
Incredible
which is why
scene
she's
from
a
her.
star.
Yeah.
The most poignant moment
Yep.
for Florence Pugh was actually um, incredible scene from her, but her
Mhm.
most poignant scene to me was in Hawkeye. And she's grieving her sister and is about to
Yes.
kill everybody for it. Like
Yes.
there's only one way in her universe to make this right.
Mhm.
And that was the scene. She was great in everything.
Mhm.
Right.
But that last episode was where it was like, oh, we got a star on our
She was
hands.
eating that mac
Okay,
and
I'm
cheese. That Kraft mac and
exactly. I'm
cheese. That's
coming
killer food.
That's right. Right?
People that
I
eat
will
that
go to
shit
the
murder people.
they're about to kill
Oh,
everybody. They
God.
murking, right? It's true. You know, hey, you can turn that powdered cheese into some goodness.
Listen, I've been in many a house that's I don't want to say much about how I
That's in the
grew up, but I've
trenches.
been in places where it's like, if we eating this, the value of life here, we got to do better for ourselves because we not valuing nobody's life. We not even valuing our own right now. We eating
In a
this
pinch,
powdered shit.
hey.
Although it tastes good though.
It
does
does.
taste
I
good.
get fond. I get nostalgia for stuff like that, and then I eat it, and I be like, I'm glad I can't go back to this, but
I can't go back.
I remember the
Can't go
taste
back.
well.
Right.
Listen.
Exactly. I don't even need real mac and cheese. Give me this mac and cheese.
Yes.
AC,
Um,
the
Talk to me.
box office. I've been checking it while we was talking. Right, the first superhero movie on the box office for this year is Superman at
Wow.
number 9. It made $600 million. That's the
600.
most any and
Yep.
the other movies that came out, Fantastic
Yeah, I know
Four,
that.
520,
Yeah,
Captain
Thunderbolts
America: Brave New
for it
World,
being a good
400.
movie, for it being
Thunderbolts,
a good movie
382.
and critiqued widely positive. Yeah, that didn't make any money either. But that's like what
Yeah,
we talk about. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Sinners is a
Yeah.
cultural phenomenon for many of us, right? It's number
Just
16.
generally speaking.
Like the movies ain't moving like they used to, which is
Well, but they can't, right? See, but
yeah.
here's the thing, right? And I'm going through this in the book world right now. It's like, all right, if you're going to change the
Yep.
entire business model,
Mhm.
you can't penalize me for not making my advance back,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And so you've
That part.
decided that we're only going to put these things in
No
theaters
physical
for 20 days.
copies.
That too.
How are you supposed to make your money back in the theater? You're not. And
Mhm.
straight up, to be honest, I'm like, there are some movies that are big screen movies, and
That part.
I'm not paying
That's
$25
nuts.
to
What
watch
is
this
it? I
in my
just
house.
recently watched
Agreed.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for the first time. right? It's a
Agreed.
wonderful movie. It made me cry at the end. That is not a movie that is making
Classic.
25.
It's
I mean,
classic.
that is making that you would possibly pay $25 to go see
Yeah.
now. Like small, middle level films. No, I'm in
No,
Charlotte.
no.
Are you guys all in New York?
Yeah.
Are you guys all in New York?
No, I'm in Charlotte.
It's
Oh, you're in
crazy,
Charlotte.
man.
Okay. I
Like
was
the
gonna say,
IMAX.
what is with the $25?
Well, I know in New York, like the IMAX.
It's not
I mean,
25
I got a
here.
Regal. I got a Regal.
Yeah, IMAX is,
I got a Regal.
Well,
I got a
IMAX.
Regal
Oh no,
account.
no,
So
that
the
joint.
IMAX
Yeah, that might be
3D that I
25.
went
The
to see
IMAX
Avatar
3D
today
shit. Yeah.
was $11.50. But that's me having the Regal account. That normally it's like it's in the 30s.
Okay.
It's
I
definitely in
just
the
took
30s.
my son to see
That-
that damn
What's the
SpongeBob
regular
movie that
price?
I did not want to see. And it was no, for real, 15. It was $15, and that was
Maybe the worst
matinee.
movie ever made.
It was 15 for me, and I think 14 for him. And two, his friend, and the friend's mom came, and I ended up getting everybody's ticket. I think it was like $65 for 2 kids and 2 adults. Yes. Oh, we don't even get me started on concession.
The
No, 'cause-
concessions are more
insane.
Yeah.
expensive than the tickets.
Because it's funny because you have I
go
mean
to
you've
C-
had the
go to
iPick theaters
CVS.
in the past that they'll do the liquor. The Alamo Draft House is another one that they'll do your meal and your liquor. But it's almost like the regular theaters have now turned. You saw that model and said, "Hey, wait a minute, let's see if we could sneak these prices in." And
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody's got to pay for these
yeah,
theater seats now.
Right.
you doing the
I mean, we turn these
40X
seats into
where
couches.
you almost
Someone's
got
gotta
like
pay
a
for this-
bidet
someone's
under
gotta pay
your
for this
legs.
renovation.
That's true. It's a roller coaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, for real. And
Yeah.
also because those seats take up so much space, there are fewer seats.
Yep.
So
Which
okay.
ironically makes it a better movie going experience for me. But yeah, that messes up the economics of all of it. I just saw that Avatar in 3D IMAX, and I went to check while we were talking. It was
Oh, that's pretty
$35 for both of us combined
Mhm.
to see it, and it was a early morning showing on a Sunday, so it's probably matinee prices. But like, so I guess
It's
the
definitely hit the north.
$25 movie ticket hasn't hit the South like that yet, but it definitely would change some of my math. Yeah, it would definitely change my math if I was in New York.
No, I know I'm paying $17.75 for a
Yep.
movie or $12.50 matinee, whatever.
Yeah.
But I do know I'm paying $40 for concessions.
So then just imagine
So
if
it's going to be $60 no matter what.
when my kids
no matter
get
how
older,
you break it down,
it'll be a
Right.
family
it's
of
going to be
four going.
$60.
Like tickets, like you spending a good chunk of change going to the movies one time, and imagine if you want to go two. Like I know my son want to go see Super Mario Galaxy
ain't no-
this upcoming
Oh,
year.
we'll be locked in for that. I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
so like that's gonna be his thing. So
Yeah,
when we
I'm
go,
definitely going.
that's just where we going right now,
Son,
man.
What
This
comes
is
out
what's
this
Christmas
happening.
and birthday
Is there something
combined.
that comes Anaconda? I think we wanted to go
Oh,
see.
yeah, Anaconda.
I think we're
Mhm. The
probably
The Jack
gonna
Black
see that.
Paul Rudd.
I
Yeah,
think I kind of do want to see that, but
Anaconda can.
I
Yeah.
think
I do. It looks so ridiculous.
see it in IMAX for the three of
Yeah.
us. It's gonna be
It looks even more ridiculous now.
It was ridiculous before.
Yeah, I need to see a review first because the trailer didn't grab me. But if it's rated R, it could be one of those trailers where they're just like,
I
we
hated
can't
that
show
the
you
last
what
trailer-
makes this
we
shit
gonna
The
see
last
it.
trailer put
So I
Ice
need to
Cube
see
in,
some
and I was like,
reviews
"Yo, why do I
first
need
before
to see
can
that?"
commit to that.
Ice Cube is in it.
Right. I speculated
That's like
that when we
putting-
saw the first trailer. I
that's like-
said, yo, it could be good, and they just holding Ice Cube back because there's no way to make this movie without Ice Cube's iconic. They got snakes in there that big, and they fucking
That-
put it in the trailer. I was like,
yeah, great
ah,
point.
I don't
Great
know.
point.
That's
Full
like putting
circle.
Red
Full
Hulk in the
circle. So
trailer.
Wait.
the last thing before we
Damn, you took
go,
us
because I
full
know we've been
circle.
going for a while. This has been a lot of fun, by the way. That's when you know you're having a good time. The last thing before we go, since this episode was titled "Who Should Lead the Avengers," I'll ask each of you, who do you think should lead the MCU Avengers, especially if you ain't choosing no goddamn Sam Wilson. Stephanie, I'll start with you. If you were just a random choice, whoever you wanna put in there as your nomination.
Man, I don't even. Rocket Raccoon? I don't know, and I feel so bad saying that because Bucky,
Yeah,
he in Congress or whatever.
I was gonna say
Elena, I
definitely sit
don't
in.
really trust that girl further than I can throw her. So I love her. She is an assassin. I Pepper Potts. I don't
Nor
know.
should you. She is an assassin.
I
She
legit
said Pepper
don't know,
Potts.
and I hate that. I don't know.
Really?
Okay. Okay. All right. Rod, how about you? Who would you nominate?
So this question made me think, who was the leader of the Avengers in the last iteration? And I was like,
I just remember
I'm not
Tony
really
saying in Age of
sure if
Ultron,
it
he said,
was
Cap
Tony
gives the orders, I
or
just buy
Steve.
everything.
Really? Yeah, it was just interesting because I don't
This is
think I
true.
truly thought about the hierarchy of who ran shit. You know, like if anything, the friction of them all kind of being their own deal was what made them interesting to me. Was that it's not a pecking order and a boss. Like,
It's like Wu Tang.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, if honestly, isn't that what
Although
makes the
RZA,
first
that is his
Avengers?
group.
What makes the Avengers first movie
Because they
so
can't get
dope
it.
is that
They can't get
we
it.
spend the whole movie being like, these motherfuckers
No.
ain't never finna save the Earth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they hit the ground in New York and they just all start doing their thing. So I'm less interested in who leads the Avengers and more interested in a storyline that shows them coming together. Cause I think the coming together of it is that's the hook. That's the real shit that puts people back in the like feeling of awe and wonder is watching the CGI heroes like do a bunch of fucking teamwork
Hmm.
after you didn't think they do it. So I'm less obsessed with that question. Now that being said, who should lead the Avengers? I think the biggest star
Yeah.
is probably Florence Pugh right now. Um, so I would just go with the biggest star because you can't miss, and then all the
That's their
conflict
hook.
that comes with that character. There's your. This is why I don't want to follow her. Is this who the fuck we're listening to? Sam's mad because he ain't. I think maybe just go with the charisma of her and then go from there because everybody else just feels like so contrived. Like Reed Richards isn't gonna drop into Earth 616 and just be leading all the
He's not an
fucking Avengers.
Avenger.
He didn't. He's never been one, and he just met these motherfuckers.
All right.
So
So I just
I
have to say
think
this. I'm
maybe go with
surprised, Rod,
Yelena,
that you
and
did
then we
not
get a
choose
lot of
Channing
fallout from that.
Tatum's Gambit. He is in the movie. He
I'm
is
gonna be
in the
so
movie.
disappointed when this
He's in the
motherfucker's in this
movie.
movie, and I just want you to know, AC. I know. I'm just letting you know if this motherfucker is in there doing that
Oh
comedy
man.
bullshit,
I just
and it's
put
supposed
him
to
in
be
there
some
with Dr.
serious
Doom
stakes,
one
man.
time.
I don't
Just
know if that
one
shit's gonna
time.
fly with me, man. That I dropped out my daddy's dick. That shit, bro. That
With
shit's
his thick
not.
New Orleans accent, with a Cajun accent.
Yeah, bro. I don't like. They might
Oh my
lose me
god,
because I'm
that
gonna
would be
be
great.
laughing too hard to
How
take this shit serious. Or
okay.
they could bring Terrence Howard back. I would also be okay with them bringing Terrence Howard back to lead the
Ed Howard,
Avengers.
how
I
about you,
told y'all
sir?
I'd be
Who
back,
would you
baby.
nominate if you could?
Well, I'm just old school. I think it's obvious. If Cap is back,
Hmm.
Cap runs the Avengers. He's the leader. Now, if you go back to the original, back into the 60s, Thor was the leader at first. But Captain America has been, when he's around, he runs the
Yep.
show. Even in Avengers, when they all come together, they go to Cap, call it Cap. He's the leader. And I think that there's actually, depending on Chris Evans' motivation and his hunger, there's a lot of generational stuff he could do there. Since he's already a man at a time, he can be a man at a time again. He's what now, 105 years old, however old he is. And so, I think that I do think you lean into your stars. And I do think that I think the easier thing to do, and I think the more compelling thing
Hmm.
to do, is instead of waiting to see if you have a star, utilize the star you have. And there's all kinds of tension that you can create. There's always been tension with those groups. One of the amazing things about reading, going back and reading the comics
No.
on the Marvel app is they've never really liked each other. Like they're always fighting with each other, right? There's very little camaraderie there in the first place. And I think that if you're going to have 100 different superheroes in these movies now, it's going to get completely unruly. You're asking a lot of Anthony Mackie or Florence Pugh or somebody. You need somebody who can be the hub of the wheel, who can be the glue. And to me, that glue is either going to be, it's not going to be Thor, because Chris Hemsworth is already, they use him for comic relief too much.
Right.
And who knows if he's back in shape after eating all that cheese whiz, right? Who knows what they're going to do with his figure, right? I think it's got to be Chris Evans, and especially it's got to be Chris Evans as well, because who doesn't want another Steve and Iron Man showdown, right? I mean, those two sort of have to.
He also is one of the few people that can bestow the Captain America title to Sam in a way that other people have to respect. Like, because if he comes back, he's not coming back like, give me the shield back, you boy, you back there. Like, he's coming back like, nah, you still Captain America. That's my man, and trying to help
Sam
put him over.
The shield. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Sam would give him the shield happily.
He will, exactly. So like, you kind of can get him out of it by him being like, hey, nah, it's like, we both Captain America, but the shield stay at your house.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The only problem is because the MCU is racial but not racist, we can't get that moment of Sam being like, man, take this fucking shield back, bro. What the fuck were you thinking?
Exactly.
Like, I need that. I would be completely fine with him abdicating Captain America because he just sat Steve in a room by himself and was like, no, actually, you do need to take the shit.
The only thing I have to say about Steve Rogers, and that's right, Howard, you weren't present for this, at the start of the program, because I have to note that Steve Rogers went back in time, get a life with his family. And it kind of feels like, I don't know. I feel like he might have pulled a little bit of the Michigan football coach being a little too horny at work and messed up the multiverse, because I feel like that's the point of this story, that Dr. Doom's gonna be like, hey man, you went back and changed everything because you needed to get your woman, you need to get your lady, and it seemed like everything got messed up. So Steve Rogers' judgment, and then I also add the Civil War situation into that too. Not exactly. It seems like there's a few little questions we could ask about Steve Rogers and his functionality as a leader. I'd just say, yeah. It's possible. Remember, Thor got the daughter too. Yeah, Frank. Well, yeah, he needs Franklin.
Because you got Franklin Richards. You got Franklin Richards, right? At the end of Fantastic Four, he's talking to the baby.
Mm-hmm.
We got Steve holding this baby we've never seen, who's half super soldier and half Peggy Carter. So you know that motherfucker got hands.
That is correct.
Like Thor got Love, the girl that he adopted at the end of Love and Thunder. And that's like, I'm just wondering if like maybe that's how.
Listen,
they do this,
Doom is definitely going to use Franklin Richards, because Franklin got every single power you could think of. So.
He's got it all.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that immediately raises the stakes, right? Because now it's a family story. It's not just the end of the universe. If you take my child, that's the end of my universe, and I will do any fucking thing on this earth to make sure that does not happen. So, like, you ain't gotta like watch every MCU movie to know
that might be
a motherfucker stole my kid, and I'm gonna get him back. Like, maybe that's how you get.
Really enjoyed it. Thank you, guys.
I thought about it.
Can't believe y'all had a whole podcast and didn't even mention Jonathan Majors.
The Forgotten Negro.
What he playing?
Oh, you know what? Actually, he's gonna be, when they make the Lifetime movie about the Michigan.
Talk about getting blipped.
There you go. And it
He's
fit perfect.
Mm-hmm. In a role of a lifetime.
Right. He
I
got the
just
cat.
felt
He
so.
got it
I felt this thing was so personal. I understood this character.
right. The scene where he's popping up on the mistress with that butter knife, and he's like, "Be my Coretta. Why can't you be my
One
Coretta?"
more step. One more step.
Oh man.
One more step.
Oh, wow.
I'm an important black man.
What's up? Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, you know what?
Yeah,
AC,
please.
the other thing I think, because another reason I think I'm light on the MCU,
110%.
I think losing Chadwick Boseman is such a much bigger loss than anyone has ever really. No one's
Well,
ever
Rod, let me throw
reckoned with
this
it.
at you. True, and let me throw this at you.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, we wish he were alive,
right.
but
Well, it seems like they're finally going to
equally
do it.
bad is the
But I
decision not to
think
replace
I
him,
think
to just kill the
personally,
character.
I understand the
That's
time
tough
that
for
they
me.
took over the past couple of years, but I will say, because I did mention this on the show, I believe last week, that we have now gotten to the point where it's like, okay, guys, it's time.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Right.
It's time.
Yeah, I think the human part of it is
Yeah.
like is it's not like being a sports GM on like NBA 2K. Like
Yeah,
the human
yeah,
part
that
of
was
it was
hard.
like we can't just be like, all right, Ryan, next man up. Go ahead and
No,
we don't
No.
we gonna piss off Kugler before he leaves to
Yeah.
make centers and hope he comes back one day.
Yeah,
Like I think
but
they had to
you
do
didn't
it.
have to announce he was exactly.
Yeah.
Because they said it in the film he was dead.
Right. Yeah. But I think but it's comic books. They'll find a way to get another T'Challa. But I think that really fucked the MCU over because I'm sure he was gonna be the guy for the Avengers and everything. And he already had a personality and everything. So like it wouldn't have to be that he's like Steve Rogers. Like, no, he's like T'Challa, and everything that comes along with him being leader
Right,
is a
exactly.
whole nother
Yeah, I
headache
think,
for
I
everybody
think that
else.
fits the
And you
bill.
keep the thing
because
going
he's
because you
already
got
a
a
leader.
movie
Like I
star.
said, thank you guys for joining us. Stephanie, such a pleasure having you back on
Yeah,
as
good to be
always.
back.
Oh man, it's great. It's great. Tell the people what you've been doing these days, what you're writing, what you have in the hopper. Please,
I'm
let us
working on
know.
my autobiography and all the things in the comic industry and what's wrong. So that'll be out in
Oh, okay.
2064. Yeah. Doing comic conventions as a 70-year-old woman, and
All
it's
that's
just a
wrong.
spotlight on me, and I'm just talking shit about everything and everyone. But now, presently, I know they're gonna have to wait. So
Burn it all
I'm gonna have to
down.
time. I'm
They
gonna
might
have to
not
time
put that
that.
out till another black
But
person get killed by
me-
police on camera.
you
I was going to say,
catch-
you need someone to get shot in the back for that.
Hey, Stephanie, it's
The
me.
way I've
From
had
publisher.
to go about getting
It's me, the
work
publisher.
through
I always
CNN,
loved your
it
work.
does feel like the underground
Love your work.
Railroad now. But I am currently, I got two, thank you, two Creator Home series, Temporal with Mad Cave Studios and Roots of
Huge
Madness with
fan.
Ignition Press. So if you like Sinners, then you might like that. If you just want to see black people doing goofy shit, I think a Time Cop, that's what inspired Temporal. So if you want to check that out, you can. I'm writing Wonder Woman, the main title, as a guest spot. Wonder Woman 29
Nice.
and 30. I think I'm the first black woman to write the Wonder Woman main title, which is insane because it's 2025. So
Salute.
there we go.
Salute.
Yeah, thank you. So that's out.
Wow.
Thank you.
Congrats.
It's
That's
it's
dope.
nothing deep. It's just
I'm
just a little
reading
fun little
Temporal, by the
time.
way. Yeah, it's really. It's funny.
You
but
second guessing
It's
her?
funny, and I like that the protagonist is like. I'm a little bit like. She kind of a
Yes,
wild
thank you.
card. Like,
I tried to make it as messy
like I'm
as
not sure
possible,
I'm
'cause
supposed
a
to be rooting
mama
for her
that is
yet,
like,
and
"I'm
I
gonna
like
use my
that.
child as an excuse to get back to the old life." That's a bitch that it can go either way. So I has that, and then for Black History Month, even though I didn't pitch this for Black
Yeah.
History Month, there is
Love
a
it.
Star Trek
Love it.
deviation story that I wrote for Lieutenant Uhura. She goes back in time, so it's the City of Forever, so a deviation version of that. Very meta contextual type of thing. She's going back to the 60s. So quite obviously, if you're familiar with the story of Nichelle Nichols and Martin Luther King Jr., like there's some ties to that, but that is just a Trojan horse to get you in. There's some other stuff going on too. I wish
Gotcha. I thought you were going to say she was
Harold,
like a
if
madam
they
who
would have
ran a
let me,
brothel and
I
and
would have,
and
I would have done
he
it
was
because that's
around the corner.
yeah. when I call you, when I call you, I
Truck
want you to get
Turner
up there and
2.
shake your asses real proper. Like that's
Start
The
the
Yaphet Kotto is going to be
blaxploitation.
really,
That's what I want.
and by the way,
and take that fucking coat off.
exactly, that's right.
So
We're a family.
Yes.
so that's what's coming
We're a
for me.
family.
Some more exciting things. A couple of franchise things that I got to work on that are actually pretty cool. So yeah, more announcements and stuff to come. And as always, I don't know when Marvel gonna let me write another story for them that is not a custom comic because I think I pissed them off real bad when I talked about Ironheart getting canceled. But you know.
I mean,
You gotta stand up. You gotta do
Mm.
it. What are they gonna do? Not
hey,
hire me? They're currently not doing that. So
Call him like I see him sometimes.
Mhm.
it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, if you're a new listener, I say go back to
Right.
2021. Like we had Steph on the pod a lot, gave us a lot of great perspective.
Yeah.
For a while there, even Steph and I were doing some comic book related
yes,
reviews, and those were some of the more fun times
there were
that I've had
before I
doing the
became so
show.
jaded.
Before we were just yes, and but Steph has moved on to great things. So always salute to
Before
you
the
for
business got
joining
me.
us and making some time. Howard, I know you doing stuff, man. So when's this book? I'm about to see you next month. Yeah.
It's the next month. Yes.
No, well,
I'm not doing anything right now because I just finished a
well, what's
book,
the
and when
book?
that
What's the name of the
happens, you
book?
can
That,
usually
that's
catch me on the couch
Mm.
watching Criterion Collection and Mubi.
Ooh, I can't wait to read
Um,
that.
the book is called Kings and Pawns: Jackie Robinson and Paul Robeson in America.
Mm.
It's all about these two gigantic African American figures pitted against each other in front of the House Un-American Activities Committee, July
Sign me
18th,
up.
1949. So we got black people in Cold War and baseball
Mm.
and Robeson and all of it. And the question, of course, which is, whose vision wins?
Mm.
Is it the Jackie Robinson vision, who felt like in order to be seen as American, you had to defend America? Or the Robeson vision, which was in order to be American, you had to critique America?
Mm.
And so these two visions collide, and both of them
Yes.
ended up in the same place, fairly disillusioned about was it all worth it?
See, that's what we should take Sam Wilson, man. If they would have just let the shit play out, he would have got to where everybody
Oh,
was
man,
like,
so
"Yeah, see, Sam, you was believing, got caught out there."
Told you.
so
Isaiah
Get
told
your
you.
memes.
Isaiah
full
tried to tell
disclosure.
you.
So Howard's having an event for the book. I
Isaiah
believe it's
told the
29th.
truth.
29th.
That was shit.
Yes, I will be attending. So Howard and I will be meeting for the first time in
January
actual person.
29th
I
at
know
the
it's
Jackie
crazy.
Robinson
It's
Museum.
nuts.
Mm.
It's nuts.
And for the first time in
Yes,
person.
Nice.
1000%.
Right?
I'm
Make sure
excited
y'all
to
take a
support
selfie
Howard's
so y'all can
Howard,
post it on the
latest
gram for the
endeavor.
rest
if
of
you at
us.
all
Absolutely.
if you're gonna be at
It's
ALA
see you in
or if you
Tribeca.
offer to sign
I
books and
love it.
ship them out, let me know because I would love to have that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm one of the worst mailers in town.
Okay.
I'll send you one.
I'll
You'll probably
get
get
you
it right
guys
when
in
your book
touch.
comes out in
Mm.
2064.
It's hard.
My New Year's
hard.
resolution is to actually put shit in the mail. Just I don't know why it's so hard for me. It is
Nice.
hard. But no, that is it. And trying to decide what to do next. It's my favorite sort of time period once you finish a project.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay,
As you always say, the work got
is
to
going
get
to
done.
capture your attention for the next 2-3 years, because that's how long these things take.
The work got to get done. But thank you, Howard, for making your presence felt on this show once again,
Yes,
as always.
exactly.
And
You have
Rob,
to.
my brother, where can we find you, sir?
No, my pleasure.
The Blackout Tips podcast. Just everywhere you get podcasts, search the Blackout Tips. And we have a Patreon now. So if you guys want to sign up for our premium stuff on our Patreon, we talk sports, we talk nerd shit, just like we say here, and chopped it up. And movie reviews. If you like movies, we do a lot of movie reviews over there too.
Love that.
I just watched a bunch of fucking
nice.
art house screener things for my North Carolina Film Critics Association. So I've been
Really?
watching all the passion projects and that the white folks is into, Eddington and If I
Haven't
Had
seen
Legs, I'd
Eddington,
Kick
but
You. That shit.
that was playing over at. We should connect because I'm on the board over at our art house cinema here in Amherst, Massachusetts, and I did watch The Secret Agent on Saturday.
I got that. That's my next movie. Yep.
It's really good.
It is okay. Cool. Bet.
Really good.
I'm going ahead
And
play
I
on
watched.
that soon.
I watched. Oh goodness, what did I watched? Sentimental Value, and I'm like, Eric Salve, I expect so much more from you.
Did you watch After the Hunt yet?
You know what? Between that and Eddington, I'm like, I don't need.
See, that's why, man. I'm so glad you here. I'm so glad you here, bro. Because
do I need
in my
this
reviews,
in my life right now?
there's a thing that's happening. Less so with one battle after another, but still in one battle after another. People's imaginations artistically have definitely been sparked to be like, I want to make something that captures the chaos of the last few years and how divisive it was.
That's right.
But not being willing to call like winners and losers, right and wrong, is pissing me off in these movies. Right. I'm like, nah, you gotta be like, that one was wrong.
Please.
You know, can I just ask the question? No, I will just say this. I know we got to go, but I just, we can go offline if you want. But all I'm gonna say is this, right? We all have been consuming popular culture our whole lives, right? We have been consuming it as Black people, which means we're gonna be the punchline most of the time. Or some of the time, that at some point in a Martin Scorsese movie, somebody's getting the N-word dropped on. Somewhere we're gonna get punched like that, right? It. It's in all. We know these things. I have never viewed my popular culture as needing to be represented. I want to be represented. I like to see Black people on camera, but I don't expect them to portray me anywhere close to how I see me.
Right.
Therefore, I am fascinated by the fact that One Battle After Another and Sinners has essentially been pitted toward one. They collide with each other as if there are no other films out there.
I have.
Right? It's like these are the only two films. And have we all seen One Battle After Another?
It made me want to
Stephanie
choke out a lot.
Is that a yes or no or a goddamn?
Oh, I could imagine with that Tiana Taylor role. I could imagine.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Yes. And all I'm thinking, exactly, right? So I am going in all of these different directions on this and really thinking about a piece on this and would love to talk about it at some point. On the one hand, was I surprised at how hypersexualized they did her? Right? No, because that's what they, watch a Woody Allen movie when there's some, the only Black woman in a Woody Allen movie is either the maid or the prostitute, right? I mean, this is what they've done. I'm not surprised by this at all.
No.
And the movie to me was never about Black women, Black people, or Black liberation at all.
Right.
I didn't see it that way. And then on the other hand, I was also thinking, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with her just being a thrill seeker? She was a thrill seeker as a character. That's it. She's a thrill seeker. And when that shit got real, they all got scared, right? I mean, this is kind of what young people do. And yet, at the same time, I realized that what we're really talking about is Sinners and One Battle After Another as the avatars. Yeah. They really are speaking. It's like there's code. There's a conversation taking place through those two movies about who we are and where we are right now. Because neither one of those movies is in some ways being represented as a movie. like it's being represented as how it makes us feel and what we're not getting, and how we're, and what is happening to us, and we are in the middle of being under this massive assault, and a very jarring one because of where we were in 2020. And so there's so much going on. I cannot remember a set of movies or a pair of movies where the conversation you're having about those movies is not really the conversation you're having about those movies. And it really does sort of tell us that we are in a serious inflection point. Right now.
The last time I think it was Moonlight and then the White Jazz movie. That's the last time we had this ain't really about these movies.
That's right. But even that only came after the messed up announcement. When those two movies first came out,
right.
I don't remember them being pitted against each other. It was only when Faye Dunaway messed it up. Right? And then it was like, oh, of course she said this one. And then, but these two movies, it was like, you hop on the socials. I just saw one battle after another. And I'm like, here we go. Right? And another thing, Sinners is the best movie I've ever seen. Is it the best movie you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but what are we really talking about? We're talking about so many other things. If Delroy Lindo ain't nominated, okay, then he's not nominated. You know how many movies
maybe
get
I
snubbed from
occupy
Best
a
Picture?
different part of Black Twitter than you, because I feel like this happens every year. Like I go through this
It does
every
happen
year.
every
This
year.
This is the earliest I've seen it, right? But
That's right.
Because
but not in opposition to one specific film.
Right. Like this is the earliest I've seen it because both those movies happened early enough in the year that people could start lining up their agendas. But I feel like every year it's been this white movie better not win. And for my folk, it's a lot of we only saw 2 movies this year, and then we decided we don't need to see the rest of these. So and so better win. Like remember in Black Panther 2, it's like Angela Bassett better win Best Supporting Actress. Period.
That's right.
It didn't even matter. It didn't matter who they gave it to. Whoever they gave it to was finna catch hell if it wasn't Angela Bassett. And that's what happened.
Sinners better win Best Picture. How many movies have you seen this year? 1.
Right. All right. Listen, I get it. I ain't gonna fight the battle because I feel like the other side of this is that is people dealing with that from the other direction the whole time, where it's like, oh, we didn't see the black movie, but we decided to see the white movie deserve everything.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why it's very difficult to have these conversations, because if you
that's really what a lot of these people want. They want that ammo. They crave it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to have it.
I'm not going to play into this. And they'll be like, see, man, I saw Rod talk about it and he agreed with me.
Right.
No.
Yeah. I'm scared. I don't talk about these movies
exactly.
in public. This is the only place I done talked about this with y'all.
Exactly.
I was actually after I saw that.
I'm not tweeting that shit.
I was ready to say something.
And if you said I said it, I didn't say it.
No, never mind.
I ain't got nothing to say on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that movie was, from a movie making standpoint, it's a great movie.
Oh, he know how to make a movie, dog.
He knows how to make movies.
I was talking to a friend about it. You know, we both black, so we got into the black stuff too. But I'm like, yeah, but also just as a movie goer, it's a fucking movie. Because he was like, well, how improbable is it that this thing happened? I was like, in a movie, the improbable always happens. It's not even a movie if it just goes how it's supposed to go. I don't want to watch the girl get killed or whatever the fuck. Like, did you want to watch the girl get killed to be like, well, that's life? No, Marvel, we want to see the girl get saved.
That's what happens. No, I'm sorry. Exactly. I'm sorry you breathed in those fumes, but that's what happens.
Yeah, dog. That motherfucking hill chase shit. I ain't seen no shit like that. I was on the edge of my seat watching cars go up a hill, bro.
And the drums.
They had my ass, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Exactly.
But
same. And why should you? It was great movie making.
Well, you lie because when you get on Twitter, you don't want to deal with the blowback. So that's when you get on.
That's not
like,
lie.
I didn't even like that shit. I
didn't see it.
I was too obsessed with how wrong they did.
Like
I couldn't even get past the movie. I watched the trailer and walked out. That's
hate
how
that movie, but I like looking.
I'm more pro
but I
black
thought
than y'all.
movie wise, it's a
like
movie. It's
visually
a visual,
speaking.
like it
Yeah.
was a thing,
That's
but
another
I
one.
hated Civil War.
That's
I don't
another
like
one.
that
Hated
movie,
Civil
and it's
War.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes, yes, yes.
You know
Yeah.
why I hated that movie?
Why?
I hated that movie because it didn't have the courage to tell you who the enemy
That's what I'm
was.
saying. That's what I'm
It
saying.
lacked courage.
The third act of that movie is so intense with the like action that you just supposed to forget
Right.
like whose side. So
Who's-
who
exactly.
took over the country and
Who's
who the
doing the
fuck is
fighting?
right? Why y'all
Mhm.
fighting?
Hey,
Ah,
man.
And that
It's
if you don't
an
have the
interesting
balls
time
for
to be a
that,
moviegoer. It's an
I
interesting
ain't got
time in the
time for your
movies.
movie.
Right.
It's been a fun time talking about it. Jake, as far as editing this one is concerned,
Good
hey
luck.
man, no,
Mhm.
leave it all in. Said leave everything in.
Leave it all
Jake's
in.
here?
Just leave it all in.
No.
If I find out you censored some black people's
So-
work, I'm gonna come after you like they came after Paul
Salute
Thomas
to Jake.
Anderson.
Enjoy
Jake.
your
I'm just
holiday,
letting you know,
man.
brother.
You gonna
Happy
get
holidays to
PTA?
I will
everybody. You
cancel
can
the shit
follow
out
me
of
at
you,
Anthony
bruh.
Canton _3. Follow the show on all platforms at MC University Pod, Patreon, YouTube channel, all that stuff. We'll be continuing the road to Doomsdays as we get closer to Wonder Man, and that should be a fun time. Rod, I'm sure we will tap you for Wonder Man, and we'll get into that whole situation.
If this shit goes Secret Invasion, bro, I might tap out. This shit better
This is
be
correct.
good, bro.
Yeah, they have
Look,
cat.
you're gonna get-
They did
you're gonna
cast. I
get two
can't
more
remember
black
the
people in
name
this
of the guy,
because
but it's a
Simon
black
Williams'
guy.
brother has
So-
to be black now too, right?
So so
Better
that
be,
should be
yeah.
interesting as January unfolds and we get our first MCU thing of the year.
There we
But
go.
thanks everybody for listening, watching, and supporting.
You got a two-
For Howard Bryant, for Rod Morrow, and Stephanie Williams, this is Anthony Canton III, and this has been Marvel Cinematic University, and we will talk to you next time.